We call names tonight. We call names tonight. Are you ready?
Saw a father bashing his own son.
And all the parents were arguing with each other.
It was really stressful and it made me just not feel good at all.
I stopped because I was being yelled at and it just wasn't any fun anymore.
If they've got to yell out, they could say like something encouraging, like
Good job.
or good pass.
You're doing great.
You're good, just keep trying and you'll get there.
Just let kids be kids.
Here we are at the Sydney Olympic Park Athletic Centre for the 2017 Australian Athletics Championships. Hi, I'm Matt Lynch, and here we are for day 8 of the 2017 Australian Athletics Championships. It's been a huge week. We've had some great performances, and there's still one day left. I'll be joined on trackside by Tamsin, up in the box with Ben. Now, Tamsin, it's your event today. It's the Women's 800. Is that what you're looking forward to?
Got to say, yes, I can't wait. It's going to be much easier watching it than being on the track, but I'm looking forward to seeing how Annie Ruby does. She's stepping up from the 400 metres. She's not going to have it all her own way, though. Laura Story's been running really well, and then there's a crop of youngsters coming through, and I think Georgia Griffiths looked pretty good in the qualifying round, so it's going to be a cracker of a race. Hopefully just as good as last night's men's race. And then for the 1500, well, Ryan Gregson, Olympic finalist, he's coming back, but, I mean, Matthew Ramsden, he is a talent coming through, and then you've got Guzman and Geordie Williams, so that's going to be a great race too.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I think we've got a couple of hurdles events today. I think they're going to be pretty good too.
Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, starting off with the men's, defending champion Molino up against Huff. Obviously made Rio last year. Down in Canberra, he went 13.59 in the wet. Honestly, the track was saturated. So I think if we give him a tailwind down the backs, he could go close to that World Champs qualifier. And then probably, arguably, one of the most anticipated races of this whole program is seeing Sally back on the track in the 100-metre hurdles. Obviously, she's got Jenicky, she's got Taddeo, and she's got Bean. It's going to be a fantastic race, probably in those four, but I can't wait for it. I think that one's going to be a special one, just like that 800 last night.
Yeah, I think we might see some sub-13 seconds out there. Now, I'm looking forward to the field. We've got Curtis Marshall, the youngster, in the pole vault. He's already got a World Champs qualifier, so he's got to win and get himself over to London. And Danny Stevens, I reckon we'll probably see every single throw of hers over that qualifying line, and maybe she can touch up her 67.99 PB. But stay tuned for plenty of action here at the 2017 Australian Athletics Championships. Welcome to the final day of the 2017 Australian Athletics Championships. Matt Lynch up here with Ben Offrens. Tamsin down trackside, but You can see we've got our first race underway. It is the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase. We've got a start list for you shortly, but we finally made it to the last day of the championships. It's been a long 8 days.
It has. It has been a very long 8 days, but a fun and exciting 8 days, that's for sure. Obviously, last night, how could you go past that one? It's probably my favourite session, I reckon, of the championships. So much was happening. Conditions were great. Athletes were performing, and you can't complain.
The 8 days, it's more of a festival of athletics, isn't it, over 8 days?
Yeah, it certainly is. And it's fantastic that the junior athletes can come here and see the open athletes compete. But also the opens get to actually watch the juniors as well, so which I think is another nice thing. I've been enjoying sitting around watching the junior athletes. It takes me back to those days as a junior athlete and brings back some very, very fond memories.
Yeah, and it's also, you might have seen it a couple of nights ago, a few of the junior athletes coming back to test themselves against the Open. Some big programs. I'm going to say probably Tyler Gunn, 7 400s over the week. It's almost one a day there.
Yeah, definitely. Him and Christian Davies, they had massive programs, absolutely massive programs, but both performed admirably. And obviously it showed with Tyler Gunn making that final last night.
Yeah, certainly was. So this is the current event on the track, the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase. World Championship qualifier for this event, 8:32.00. They're only just a few short laps away.
Now, I must apologise. Let's get it out of it straight away. Unfortunately, Nick Huff did not make Rio. I do apologise that. Once you get to my age, all years start to blend together and you think they're all the same. But he was there at the World Champs in 2015, so that's where my mind was. But he was on my fantasy team.
That's right, yeah.
So,
the Dynasty draft, you tried to grab him early before someone else swoops him up.
And also, if I was a selector, I would have picked him for the team anyway.
Oh,
so.
Guaranteed.
So we do apologise to anyone out there who may have been offended by my call of saying that Nick Huff made Rio, but unfortunately I was incorrect, so I do take that one.
Well, it's great to own up to it, and I'm sure in 2020 we'll see him out there on the tracks of Tokyo. And here's your start list for the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase. James Niparis, Ben Buckingham, Nathan Percy, Hashim Salah, Joe Burgess, Edward Trippus, Guy Walters, Toby O'Brien, Adam Helmy, Dalrymple Crook, Aidan Hobbs, Josh Tedesco, Ben Drew, Max Stevens, Jordan Pizzica, Luke Graves, Brendan Press, and Jared Jones. Jared Jones, the husband of Caitlin Jones.
Oh, there you go.
Formerly Caitlin Sargent.
Wow.
That's where she got the Jones from.
Track family. We're building a track family. I have little track kids.
3,000 metre steeplechase, 400 metres. Where would they meet? Maybe a 15 runner?
Possibly. Some speed with some endurance. Could be a top athlete, I reckon.
Great recipe for success. And the pace, not flying at the moment. That's James Niparis in the centre of the field in the all-white singlet of Sydney University. Won a fair few national titles over this distance. Normally he's out there having a crack by himself.
Yeah, but he's got a big field tonight, but obviously the pace is quite slow. You can see the field bunched right up there. No one's really taking this race on. So it looks like Nipper's happy to just sit back there in that third spot, sitting on the rail, and he'll let the others do the work around him. And obviously, I think the pace will pick up closer to the closing stages of this race. Obviously, with 4 laps to go, I reckon another 2, and we could see some quick pace.
Yeah, it looks like they're definitely
on the track.
They're keeping it tactical, it seems, at the moment. And I'm sure they're all just trying to hunt down for that national title.
But the athletes do have to be careful. Obviously, when the pack is so bunched up like this, going over the steeples, obviously we've seen a couple of the junior ones go down when it's in this same situation. So hopefully we can get these athletes around. No one takes any falls, especially on the water jump. It seems to be the place that a lot of the photographers love to position themselves out there on the water jump, just hoping to capture that one athlete that may go down, and seems to be the photo then goes viral.
It is that most exciting section of the race, I'd have to say. That's our Qatari athlete there, Hashim Salah. Just out in the front.
Yeah, just behind Nipper there, looks like we've got Ben Buckingham and Jared Jones. So that's your top 4 there. The slotted behind is Guy Walters, New South Wales athlete, here on his home track.
Now you might see that wind gauge down the back straight. We have had some races earlier today, some heats of our straight hurdles, and they were completed down the back straight with a very, very handy tailwind. So doing as much as we can for our athletes, and they would have very much enjoyed that beautiful tailwind down the back straight.
As we see there, Hamish Peacock back on the runway. He's already thrown big, thrown a qualifier, 83.24. See if he can get another one out there. Looks like it's just dropped a little short on that one.
Yeah, he's been peppering that line all morning. Looks like Tamsin's down there trackside as the steeplechasers just go past. Tamsin.
Yeah, guys, I just went out to the javelin throw to have a look. Hamish is having a fantastic series of throws. His first 3 throws were all over 80 metres. As you said, he's got an 83-metre plus throw World Championship qualifier, so it looks like he's going to seal his ticket to the World Champs. Next best Australian at the moment is Luke Can. He's thrown 75 metres, and I spoke to Reece Stone, and he's sitting there with his brother Jake, who's obviously now playing AFL and used to be a great decathlete for us, and he just hasn't managed to nail one. He said that he's training really well, so fingers crossed he's got 2 more rounds to throw a big one.
Yeah, plenty of time left out there in the men's javelin. As we see James Niparis now finding his way into the lead and a good gap back to Hashim Salah. And looks like Buckingham now as well in that second Australian position. They'll get the bell, Nipper, with 1 lap to go. 8:32 the time to achieve, but with the race as pedestrian as it was early stages, the title will be enough for Nipper to concentrate to head overseas and try and hunt down that World Championship qualifying time.
Yeah, definitely. And it was that 2-lap mark that the athletes sort of off the front thought, hey, this is the time that we need to go. We need to start to move away from the rest of this pack, and now they're fully strung out. So Nippers has done well. He's got 2 more steeples to get himself over, 200 metres to go. He's going to have an interesting time here coming up to a lap runner right on the water jump. So hopefully this goes okay. Yep, he's clear. Same with the Qatari athlete. They're going to round the bend, come into the home straight for the final time. But it looks like the Qatari athlete's fighting back here at Nipper.
This could be a good finish. It's Niparis out in front. Hashim Salah chasing him down. They're going to clear at the same time, and it's going to be a sprint. But Salah just too strong. Enjoying a bit of the crowd there, playing up, taking the win there. 8:51.83. And taking the win. Enjoying his time in Australia, it looks like.
Yeah, it seems that way. Obviously, his coaching group just down in front of us. They're all pretty happy with that one. They're up out of their chairs.
Yeah, he definitely played it up once he cleared that last steeple. He knew he had the win on Nipper. But James Niparis, you're national champion.
National champion.
It's like Nathan Percy there coming up for second place from Victoria, and Ben Buckingham taking the bronze medal.
As you said, he's got a few of them now.
Nipper really pushing himself to the limit, still out there on the track on his hands and knees. It's a pretty often seen sight from Nipper. When he wins these national titles, he never leaves anything out there on the track.
No.
And always puts his entire body on the line. Still hurting, but he knows, I'm sure, he put everything onto that race.
And just as you saw there, as those athletes were coming across the line, the discoloration in the track, that's just the track drying out, which is actually fantastic news for the sprinters coming up a little bit later this afternoon. Obviously, there was a little bit of rain earlier on, so the track was wet. But as they come out for the finals, they will have a dry track as long as this rain holds off. Just looking around at the clouds, doesn't look like we're going to get too much rain, hopefully.
And this is Adam Halmy coming down the straight. And it looks like Tams is down there with your first two across the line, James Nipris and Hashim Salah.
What a great way to start the track program. Hashim, I thought you were gone for all money there when James took off at the bell, but you managed to reel him back. Now you're training in Australia with Nick Badeau and MTC.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for God that's helped me to run here. And a big thank for our federation and our coach Nick Badeau, which is kind of like different kind of training in Australia. And I'm celebrating this win for my group. And thanks for all. And especially for Neberis, he helped me. And I wish him good luck. And I hope to see him in Tokyo 2020.
Well, it was a great run, and I think that the MTC guys up there, I can see Luke Matthews, will be really proud of that dab that you had going in celebration. Well done. Now, James, that was tough out there. Very slow pace early, and then you knew you had to go quite early because Hashim was going to latch on and probably had a good kick.
Yeah, I've raced Hashim 3 times now, a couple of times in Europe, but yeah, it's 3-0 his way. But I gave it a good fight, and I'm proud of the effort I put in today, and it was good to get the Australian Championship.
Well, it was a fantastic effort. It was a very brave race. You went early, and you did make a break. Did you think with 150 to go that maybe you had it won?
No, you can never count on your laurels. I think you got to fight all the way to the end, and Hashim just had more fight today, and a credit to him, he's a really good athlete.
Well, you can feel that wind. The breeze has really picked up. Was it pretty tough out there?
Yeah, it was, but no excuses. I'm here, I'm healthy, I'm in good shape, and I just didn't have what it took to win, but as I said, I'm proud of the effort I put forward.
We had a great season last season. You get very close to those championship qualifiers. You're going to head overseas and get that one for London this year, aren't you?
At the moment, I've just really focused with my coach Dick Telford just on trying to get the Australian Championship. Yeah, someone like yourself that's won many of them. That's what I want to be, and I want to keep trying to win the Australian title. But yeah, sure, I think now I'll try and refocus on running a quick time, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, your 3,000 metre national champion, James Nipris. Good luck overseas.
Thanks, guys, and thanks to Hashim from Qatar.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tamsin.
Now, earlier today we did have the 100-metre hurdle heats running down the back straight, and some pretty exciting races. We had Sally Pearson in the first and Michelle Jenica in the second. Let's check these out. There's the start list for the first out on the track. Natalie Sataji, Brianna Behan, Hannah Jones, Sally Pearson, Elizabeth Clay and Carla Takchi. And straight away from the gun, Sally Pearson with a very big lead. And just too classy over these mid-flight hurdles. Brianna Behan, 13 flat last year at this National Championships, but Sally Pearson's got something to prove here.
Yeah, definitely. She looked great, especially straight from the blocks. It wasn't a thing where she sort of gradually built into it. From the gun, she was off and running and looking fantastic. And as we saw there, 12.74. There's your World Champs qualifier.
Easy as you like. People might have been downing her, but definitely something to prove there. 12.74 in the heat. The qualifier was 12.98. That is absolutely huge. And in the final semi, we did see Michelle Jenica out there. So that's your start list. Summer Johnson, Abby Tadeo, Jane Hickey, Anika Milne, Daniela Roman, Michelle Jenica, and Nicole Reynolds. Another tough race, another tough heat.
That's what happens sometimes with these seat heatings. Sometimes you can get a lot of top athletes into it. As we can see there, good start there by Jenica. Also Tadeo on the inside, but Jenica starts to move away with this one. She's too strong for the other athletes, but Taddeo comes through nicely, and then also Daniela Roman. But that'll be Jenica taking the win. She'll go through as an automatic, as will Taddeo, to the final. So it'll be good. Interesting to see these athletes up against Sally. Obviously, they haven't raced her in a while. Sally's been away. It's good to see Sally back, but I think Michelle, Abby, and also Liz Clay and Brianna Bean will enjoy taking her on in the final, I'm sure.
Yeah, they'll try and be hunting down that 12.98. Well, let's just go through our heats of the 200 that were earlier this morning. Pretty stacked heat here as well. Jacinta Beecher, Morgan Mitchell there in the centre of the field, winning the 400.
Yeah, it's good to see Morgan coming back after a win last night in the 400 metres. Obviously, she may be a little flat coming out in the first run, so as we see there, Jessica Beecher on the inside, she takes them off the bend and she starts to move away with it. But here comes Morgan Mitchell through the middle of the field, starts to come back at Beecher and just misses her on the line. But fantastic nonetheless to come back after that final, because obviously there's still that excitement. There's still that adrenaline pumping through you after taking a national title.
And you look this is obviously a little bit earlier today, but look how wet the track was back then.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing.
A lot of hard rain.
Yeah, a lot of hard rain this morning. But as we said before, the track is drying out. So for these finals, the conditions are definitely much better.
Unfortunately for the 200, we can't switch the track around to run backwards for a 2.
No, it's not actually surveyed for that. So obviously we have 800 lines, so you would think that 800 line to the 200 Saga doesn't work that way. It actually has to be surveyed by a certified official to be able to do that.
I think only Adelaide is ready to go backwards. They have run a couple of track classes there. It's only like 1 or 2 centimetres of difference from between the 8 start line and the 2 start line. But you can see there your reigning 100-metre national champion on the outside from Papua New Guinea, Toya Whistle. And look at the contrast there. It is very sunny.
It is.
While also soaking wet. But Whistle just way too classy there, coming home very strong. Sophie Stanwell, the 2014 fourth place in the heptathlon from Glasgow. They're having a crack at the sprints and making their way into the final as well. And we'll see that later on this evening. There's your qualifiers. 23.65. Very easy for Whistle.
Such a strong athlete. Even when you watch her run, torso does not move. So good with it. And you just see these arms go back and forth. So it's a lot of strength there in that.
And probably the one everyone's trying to take down, Ella Nelson in lane 6. See what she can show up. Already got the qualifier 23 flat at the Summer of Baths Grand Prix. And already passed the athletes on her outside into the home straight. And this is where she really comes in. She's probably said it 1,000 times. Whoever runs the fastest 80 to 120 will win the race.
Yep. It's not always that she's coming off the bend in first place. Obviously, this is a heat, but when she's in a class field, sometimes she doesn't come off that bend in front, but then she just hits the accelerator and boom, off she goes, and she charges down the home straight. And it's definitely her best part of the race.
Yeah, 23.76, the winning time there for Ella Nelson. And yeah, just another class above.
I'm looking forward to this, Nelson versus Whistle. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great race.
It was a good race in Canberra. Where Ella left it right to the last seconds there, but we'll show you some of our 200-metre heats for the men that were on earlier. One to watch here, Tom Gamble. He's been a bit ill.
Yep.
He's lost a little bit of weight, had a pretty bad virus, but pretty much unbeaten over any distance, really, 1s and 2s. So it's a first race for Mr. Gamble for quite some time. Look, he's trying to not use as much energy, but the Japanese athlete on his outside really pushing him all the way.
And that's the thing. These automatic spots are vital for the qualification through to the final. And as we saw with the women, 5 heats. That makes it tough.
Yeah.
First in each, next fastest 3.
It is tough going there. 21.33, the time enough to get Tom Gamble into the final.
It's good to see him out there. It was nice to actually have him up here yesterday.
That's right,
going through the hundreds. So
here's the next one on our list, Alexander Hartman, and I bet he has something to prove.
Yeah, I think so too. After missing out on that 100-metre final last night, he's back out again on the track and looking dominant in this heat.
Yeah, killing that band. This has actually got the gold medalist from last year and the silver medalist. Ryan Bedford, second place Australian last year. Had a couple of hammy issues, so he hasn't been running that often, but Harmon probably switching off a little bit later than you'd think.
Yeah, I thought he would have switched off a little early. He probably could have. He could have switched off with maybe even 50 to go. He was in that position where he had no worries. No one was going to come over the top of him, but still a solid 21.15.
Big headwind as well. I think it was a -1.8.
So he's obviously in form. So I'm looking forward to this one. The track will be dry. Hopefully the winds will come down because obviously they are still headwinds.
Now, how's the seating in this? Gold, Fin 100 from New Zealand, Joseph Miller. First Australian, Trey Williams. Second Australian, Aaron Breslin. All in the same heat.
All in the same heat, I know.
Ridiculous. And look at Trey. An awesome bend. The bend actually suits Trey Williams. Joseph Miller probably not wanting to work too hard. And those two way too strong for the rest of the athletes taking it out. We'll see both of them in the final later on this afternoon.
And there you can see your results there from the prelims. Joseph Miller, Trey Williams, first and second in that one. As you said, Trey Williams, great bend. I've seen him run an incredible first leg in a relay.
Yeah, he's very handy. Hopefully he runs a relay for Queensland later on this afternoon. But here's your start list in the men's javelin. Ben Langton, Burnell, Reece Stein, Sumida, Arunasinger, Saxon Ward, Hamish Peacock, Connor Warren, Luke Can, Liam O'Brien, John Crandell and Alex Wood. And like we said before, we've already seen Hamish Peacock get it out there very far. And this is the men long jump as well. Shemaiah James, Angus Gould, Liam Adcock, Thomas Solomon, Yuki Hashioka, Christopher Matrevsky, Kota Minamura, Jeremy Andrews, Hamish Gill, Kurt Jenner.
Another good lineup for a field event.
Those boys are very young.
Yeah.
A young field in that long jump.
But as we see, we've got Hamish on the runway. The crowd are getting the clap going.
It's the last round for Hamish. This is his last throw. Everyone in the stadium getting behind him. He's already got 83.24. It's a big throw. And this is to secure his London spot. Oh, he's let it rip. He's got another one.
He's out there again. We'll call that an 83-metre throw as well.
Well, it's 83 exactly for that qualifying mark. That's over. I think that could be the best throw of his competition. Save the best for last, as they say.
Exactly. And then sometimes it's what it is. You go out there, you get your qualifier. Like Kelsey, got a qualifier in the first round. You can sort of then relax and enjoy the rest of the competition, and it frees you up so you're not tightening up and tensing, and you actually get through the throw. 83.42 there, yes, was his best throw.
Now, as you can see, Angus Gould on the runway, the ACT athlete. We're going to throw it down to Tamsin for an audio update.
As I'm down here with the long jumpers, and Chris Matrovsky is winning the long jump after round 3. He leapt to 790 in the first round, and the officials have just told me that he was behind the board. It was definitely an 8-metre jump, so he's in shape. He's looking like the form athlete. It's very gusty though. I've seen a 5.1 wind on the tailwind, so it's really messing with their run-ups.
Yeah, that's going to be tough, isn't it? And that's the thing. We saw this down in Canberra. There was a little bit of gusty winds about, so the jumpers did find it hard to get on the board. So we're seeing comps where the first and second rounds were pretty much all fouls, and it wasn't until after that the jumpers got their eye in. They got hang of their run-up, they got their marks right, and they're actually able to get some clean jumps. And as we see there, Angus Gould on the runway from the ACT. Looks good from here. I don't think he'll be too excited about that. It looks like it's around that 7:30.
Right on the board, though. He's got the run-up right.
He's getting the run-up right. And it's plus 4.1. So as you see there, plus 4.1 for Angus. And then the race that we had before on the track, it was a negative 2.1. So as you can see, you've got these gusty winds. They're picking up and down anywhere between that 1 up to 5, as Tamsin said.
Yeah, a 5-metre, that's going to cause havoc for your run-up. But Liam Adcock currently out there, a 7-metre 90 jumper this year. I'm sure he's aiming for that 8.15, but if not, he's already got the World University Games qualifier, which is just as good a competition.
Yeah, it's a fantastic effort. I like the World Uni Games. I believe it's a great competition. It's sort of like a stepping stone for a lot of these athletes to be able to have that experience at on the world stage and then move up to the open level after that.
Yeah, exactly. It is only for those 18 to 28, so it is a closed age group event. And it's a great experience for a big international comp. Well, Adcock just having a couple of stutters.
Yeah.
There. That's what that wind does to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. If you have a 2-point on one jump and the next one you're copping 5, it does make it hard because you go into it, you do your 2, say you're just a little bit behind the board, you'll adjust your run up for that. But then if you get a 5 on the next one, it can make changes irrelevant then.
Exactly. And we don't have any built-in wind gauges in our own bodies.
No.
We're not here to just go, okay, it's a 3, it's a 4.
No.
I know, I'll wait a bit. And they've only got a minute to jump.
Exactly. They're on the clock.
You can only wait so long.
They're on the clock. And as we see here, Shemai James just mentally going through his run-up. Visualisation is very important in track and field, especially the jumping events. Obviously, you want to sort of picture and imagine exactly what you want to do. So these guys will know their run-up and their jumps inside out. So then they can obviously control the controllables and then hope they can gauge the wind well enough to then adjust their run-ups.
Looks like Shem's probably not looking really after his numbers there. His James is almost ripped up. But a 788-metre jumper. And that looks like it might be around that 750 to 760-metre mark. Only still early days in this competition. The track, it might not be finding the pop off the track.
Although we've had
a 790.
We have Matreski go 790, and he was behind the board. So he's put this field on notice. These guys have to get their run-up right, otherwise he's going to run away with this.
I think it's one of the 4th or 5th 790 jump that he's done, 790 and above.
He has been very, very consistent. That's one thing he's been able to do. He's shown that consistency. He came down to the ACT Champs, jumped that big, came down again for the Summer of Ass Grand Prix, jumped that big again. Here he comes here now for another competition, still out there at that 790 mark. As you see there on the runway, the Japanese athlete, Yuki Hashioka, put out there 771 in the qualifying.
It's pretty handy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
One of our only qualifiers from the back straight pool.
There you go. So that pool that obviously I said I didn't want to be in because I didn't think it would be as good. This is the guy that was able to come out of it with an automatic.
And just probably in those mid-sevens.
Sat on it a little bit. He didn't get quite that carry through in the pop that he would have liked off the board.
No, and there won't be any long jump on the back straight because that's where the men's pole vault's currently warming up.
This is true.
Makes it difficult.
It does. It does.
They need a lot of space, pole vaulters.
Imagine if the board, the take-up off board, was just before the pole vault box and you actually had to jump over the mats.
Well, I was talking to when we had Robbie Crowther up here the other day. I'd love to see all these guys can jump over 7 metres. No dramas. Why not have them long jump off the 7-metre triple jump board?
Wow. It'd be daunting.
Well, they can jump 7 metres.
I know they can jump 7 metres, but it's like anything.
That's exactly
you can
that's
walk,
the answer that Robbie gave me. He's like, I don't know.
You can walk straight on a plank of wood that's sitting on the ground. Say it's 50 centimetres wide, but if you put that 100 metres up in the air, you're not doing it as easy.
I do agree. That does make life hard. But Matreski on the runway. Let's see what he can pop out.
Behind the board again.
I don't think he liked that landing either. That didn't look like it's something that he's done before.
No. But I think if he gets this run up right, he's going to go big. He's definitely going to go big.
Equal Victorian 100-metre champion. Dead heated with Joel B.
Wow.
Down there at the Victorian Champs. Unfortunately, Joel B tore his hammy dipping for the line. You see Kurt Jenner there on the runway wearing a Westfield Sports High bodysuit. I'm sure that bodysuit's probably been worn by Fabrice Lapierre at one point. Maybe a smaller size.
But as you said in the qualification rounds, a lot of quality athletes, jumpers especially, coming out of that Westfield sports program.
Yeah, probably one of the greatest schools at producing long jumpers.
It's one of those things, though. If you put the time and effort and the development program in place, and then get the athletes in, you're going to get the results.
A couple of others that have gone through Westfield Sports Time. Danny Stevens.
Yep.
Jake Stein.
Yep.
Jamal Idris.
Wow.
So Jamal actually, before he played footy, made World Youth in Javelin Disc. So talented school.
I've got another one for you. And I don't know, I'll go through a couple others. So I believe that Michael Clark went through it, the cricketer.
Doesn't surprise me. He's from the western suburbs.
But the other one was Jared Hayne.
Oh, definitely.
Jared
100% Jared Hayne was there.
And he's actually been labelled as the greatest sportsman of all time to come out of Westfield High. That was the award that was given to him. And I don't know if I agree with that.
Don't do it yet.
I don't know if that's...
Really?
I don't know if I agree with that.
He's probably done the most sports of all time.
Yeah, but when you're comparing to people like Michael Clark, I don't know.
Even
that's just my opinion.
Even just Danny.
Even
Fabrice. Bit bias on the track there.
Yeah, but I would have to look at the list, but there was other athletes on that list that I thought would have been in front of Hayne.
So our next race up on the track will be the women's 200-metre wheelchair. A lone athlete there in lane 2, Sarah Jane Trevor Clifton Bly from New South Wales. Now, Tamsin, looks like you've got a special javelin guest down there.
I have got one of our best ever javelin throwers, Hamish Peacock. What a series of throw. And you were 3 centimetres off your personal best, 84.36.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with my series. It's probably my best series I've ever thrown. So, yeah, but to be 3 centimetres off my PB, that was a little bit annoying, but it's still a really good series. So, yeah, I'm really happy with it.
I think you should be stoked. And the main goal was to win the national titles and get that tick so that you're on the plane for London World Champ.
Yeah, the national titles, obviously, having won a fair few yourself, they're pretty big. And, you know, as an Australian, it's always a great honour to win a national title. That's my second one now. So, yeah, really happy with it.
What are you going to do? Are you going to prepare for the World Champs in Tasmania? Because I guess Tasmania's winter could be similar to a London summer.
Nah, I'll travel to Europe for a few comps and probably pop back. But I'm pretty used to training in the winter down in Hobart, so that's no issue for me. Just, yeah, head over to the camp in England.
Awesome. Well, it's seriously, it's the best series of throw I think we've ever seen in the national championships. It was fantastic. How many did you have over 80 metres?
I think 5, and then the other one was a foul. So.
Awesome effort. Well done, Hamish. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks very much, Nancy.
This goes leaps and bounds. Hamish Peacock, such a talent. Bronze medalist from the 2014 Com Games. And we'll see him over at the World Champs. He made Rio as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how he goes there. And I know if he makes his way over to Europe, I'm sure he'll pop a visit over to some of those Scandinavian countries. I think javelin's the national sport of Finland. So those athletes don't mind getting around. I know at one point last year, or 2015, sorry, Connor Warren throwing a 77.80 as an under-18 athlete. We chucked it up on Facebook, the video. We tagged a few countries, a few Scandinavian countries in it, and it ended up with 104,000 views, mostly from Sweden, Finland and Latvia. They love a big jav. Angus Gould now on the runway, and we're in round 5 of this men's long jump championships. Gould waiting for this this wind to slow down. It is getting very blustery in here. And that's Sarah Jane Trevor Clifton Blight. That's a much better jump. We'll see what flag he gets. Having a look. He's got the white. That's not too bad. But down the back straight and coming around. That's Clifton Blight into her push.
Take the gold over the one-lap race early this championship.
Coming around the bend, you'll see the track starting dry. That's a little bit of water from the water jump in the steeple, but
Lane 1's usually the last lane to dry up, and it's looking pretty fresh at the moment. Unfortunately, this wind, very gusty. Main reason why the pole vault is on the back straight, it would be too much of a crosswind for those athletes, and they definitely would struggle in those conditions. It's probably the most dangerous of sports to do. Looks like 775 for the Angus Gould jump as well. You see Clifton Bly now into the final stages of her 200-metre wheelchair. And she might just over the 1 minute barrier.
Complete the 200-metre wheelchair event. And will emerge from this championship as the 400-metre champion as well.
So she's taking the 2 and the 4 double. And some excellent pushing from the New South Wales athlete. You can see in the bottom corner there, Shem James getting ready for his 5th round jump. And just out there will be the men's 200-metre wheelchair. So you can see on our screen now, Jason LaChance and Gregory Luff. But Tamsin is with a winner of the last race.
I am. I'm here with Clifton Bly. Now, it was a very tough race to do on your own, but you seem to motivate yourself to get around there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's harsh racing on your own, personally, but at the end of the day, all you need to do is you basically race yourself.
Okay, and just quickly, yesterday you raced your coach, Angie Ballard, who everybody knows, she's a Paralympic superstar. And tell us, where did you finish?
First.
I love it, you have one up on it. Brilliant effort. Well done, Clifton.
Thank you.
And that's Gregory Luff now. We've seen him around the track. He's pushed in all of our competitions, and Luff, the wind, a negative 3.8. That is very daunting for our 200-metre sprinters later on. And obviously there's wheelchair athletes spending some of those sprinters going through in 20 seconds. These guys out there for a little bit longer. It's a lot tougher for those athletes.
Yeah, it definitely is. No one likes to see a negative 3.8 on a wind gauge, do they? What's the strongest wind you've ever run into?
Oh, it'd be close to a 3.8. I don't know if I've had a 4.
I've had a 6.8.
Yeah, but that would have been the Fremantle Doctor, wouldn't it?
Yeah. 6.8.
But I bet you've had a 6-metre tailwind as well.
No,
they never ran reverse.
No,
then?
because the way it was in at the old Perry Lake Stadium, the orientation of the track was designed in a way for the Queen, so then when she was watching the sport, she didn't have to look into the sun as the sun was setting. But the actual track wasn't built for performance, and we always were getting headwinds.
Did the Queen ever even make it out to the athletics? I hope she did.
No, she better have. I tell you what, because for that one little week that she was there, not wanting to look in the sun, it affected athletics for the next 40 years.
Obviously, this Commonwealth Games was before the advent of the sunglasses. You can see there on the start list, men's pole vault. Nick Southgate from New Zealand, Anthony Simmons, Stephen Clough, Jack Hicking, Angus Armstrong, Curtis Marshall, Moody's Jai Sakira, Max Mischenko, Vincent Hobby, Peter Hollenbeck. So very, very talented little field here.
Yeah.
Some good athletes, and they'll be using that big, big tailwind down the back straight.
Yeah, they most certainly will. But the other one, I've actually been at a competition. It was a competition in Belgium where I was running a 400, so obviously there was no wind gauge on that. But at the time that I was running around, some of the jumpers were recording 10s and 11s.
Oh.
Where it hit you around the bottom bend, and it literally stopped you in your tracks. I've never run into anything like it before.
That's got to hurt. So this is the last jump of round 5. Christopher Matrevsky. He's got a 790 already out there. If he gets on the board, this will be something good. No, he knows he's not on the board.
Yeah. That's the thing. If he's got the 790...
He's got a plus 0.7. Oh, that's a turn up.
Wow. What's going on down there? But that's the thing. When you've already got the 790, if you know you're not hitting the board, it's almost not worth the trouble.
No, exactly. He's already taken the lead, and Speaking of actual wins before, I have heard some stories of the 1986 Commonwealth Games. I think Darren Clark versus Roger Black. It was in Edinburgh, I'm pretty sure. And there was rumours that the high jump mats were moving. That's how strong the winds were. But I'm sure every year the something heavier and heavier was getting moved for those winds. I'm sure it was a bit of a fan fiction.
Well, you speak about strong winds. Just recently in the ACT, it was only maybe a month or so ago, we had this freak storm come through. The winds came through, and there was a marquee that was set up for the Summer of Ask Grand Prix, and it actually picked this marquee up and lifted it up into the tree. So next thing you know, I'm sitting there at work and watching this marquee just go up and straight into the tree. And the other one, which made you remind me of it, was the pole vault mats. Not the pole vault, the high jump mats. The high jump mats actually picked up. So there's 3 high jump mats all connected by little clips. One went up, the next one went up, so they're both standing up on top of each other, standing straight up in the air, and it was only that third one that actually kept all 3 of them on the ground.
So, Tamsin, you're down there. They're about to get into round 6. What's happening at the long jump?
Yeah, so they've just started the last round, and Liam Adcock jumped into silver position at the moment with a 784 in that last round. So a few of these guys are going to have to want to nail that board and get a big one out there, but Chris Mastrovsky's still leading with a 790.
Oh, these guys, great talented and very young. I know Chris Mastrovsky's only 21 years old. I think Liam Adcock's only 22 this year, so it's a bit of talent out there at the moment. And we could see these two. If they don't get that 8.15, we could see both of these athletes selected for the World University Games.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely an interesting long jump competition unfolding down there. So it's going to come down to this last round, I reckon. But Matreski's going to be hard to beat with his 790 jump.
Oh, I'm not sure that's going to trouble the top grouping. Looks like Shemaiah James possibly in third place Australian with a 775.
Yep.
On his second attempt. So, again, young athletes.
Yeah.
Only 20 this year.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple of athletes out there just looking at these results at the moment. They wouldn't be stoked with it. A friend of mine, Jeremy Andrews from Western Australia, he made the final. He was in good form, but obviously hasn't come out here and performed at his best. We obviously know that he can do better. Hasn't been a good week for him, I must say. I've got to get this out there. He lost the grand final in the Squeak Scolari fantasy basketball competition to Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson is actually a former decathlete. He was a gold medalist in the under-20s back in 2005, and he took the title out. It's his second year in a row.
Oh, that's got to hurt. I'm sure that doesn't just hurt Jeremy Andrews, but probably everyone else. Two years in a row.
Has losing the final affected his long jump? Who knows? Who knows? But, yeah.
That's how much it means.
There's a bit of banter that's been going around today, so hopefully Jeremy's been off the social today.
Yep.
And hasn't been paying attention to some of the things that the boys have been saying.
No, you don't want those kind of distractions. That's Tom Solomon on the runway. He was a bronze medalist last year. The first round, 7.57 to his name. Currently in 6th place. He'll need to improve on that. Trains up in Queensland with the great Gary Bourne. Well, that could do it. That might improve on his 57.
Yeah, it'll be close.
It's an interesting angle. It is hard to pick up a lot of times just how far they're getting out there. Today they're using the EDM.
Yep.
On this long jump run-up. We'll keep an eye out on it. But next up on the track will be the women's 200-metre ambulance. Sophie Patton, Brianna Coop, Paige Greco, Ella Party, Tarita Isaac, Isis Holt, Tamsin Colley and Carly Salmon. 7.66 there for...
So it was an improvement.
Was an improvement. He'll move up a little bit in those positions. Oh, actually, no, we're saying 6th.
Yeah.
Angus Gould up next. He's got a 6.69, so I'm sure now he'll be hunting down. 7.75 is what he needs. Well, actually, he needs more than that because
He needs
Shem
more of
has
that.
2 775s and on
the
a
thing.
countback.
He's only got one, so he needs another jump over the 775s.
He did like it.
Yeah, you can't see it there at the moment, but the white flag's gone up. So we'll bring that to you. But as we go back to the track, we've got Isis Holt up against able-bodied again. So we saw them in the 100, along with Aaron Cleaver, the medalist from Rio in that relay team. But no Cleaver in this one, but Isis Holt, able-bodied up against each other.
Oh, 783.
783, he's done it.
Only 1 centimetre from third place, and Lee Madcock up next. Off and running again on the inside. Patton, Coop, Greco, Party, Isaac, Holt, Collie and Salmon. And ella, she moved home late in that 100, but now she's going to enter the home straight with a big lead. Fellow Rio Olympians, Tarita Isaac and Isis Holt there, but ella with a very, very big lead. She's a strong athlete, very fast in these later stages. Fighting into this headwind. There's a little bit of rain out there as well. But it's going to be ella. She'll take line honours in this race. Just in the middle there of the 28s. 28.64. The wind a negative 5.1. Oh. While I look down the long jump, they get a plus 2.1. Oh. I don't know what's going on here. They were right next to each other.
The stands, obviously the way the stadium is constructed, it must shelter the long jump run up just slightly. So obviously where the wing gauge, if you look where the wing gauge is on the straight there for the track, it is out on the infield, so there is a bit of distance if you look between where the two wing gauges are. The wing gauge for the long jump is actually on the outer side of the
yes,
track.
It always must be on the left-hand side of the athlete's direction that they're facing. So obviously they are running in opposite directions, so a positive for one will be a negative for the other. But yeah, it's a little bit more sheltered than the 100. And we've got Shemaya James, 775, needs to get 783. Looks like Lee Madcock won't improve on his 784, just to pop up with a 279. So I don't think that'll trouble the leaders. Here comes Shemaya James. Oh, that might be all right.
Yeah, I think he likes this one.
He's happy with it. And Chance is down there with your top 3 in the women's ambulance 200.
I am down here with the top 3. Ladies, Ella, you got off to an absolute flyer. Very strong bend.
Thank you.
Do you feel like that's what you've been working on? Because you were strong into the front straight as well, but your speed looks like it's the best it's ever been.
Absolutely. It's my coach's job to do it, so I followed instructions.
I think you did it brilliantly. It was a great job, Ella. Tarita, that was a fantastic run as well. You'd be pretty happy with that?
Oh, yes. Well, not many 200s this season, and yeah, that'd be good.
What was your goal for the rest of the year in terms of events?
My main event's the 400, so qualify for that for World Champs. Done a few, so and then progress from that, and also for World Champs trying to qualify for the 200. Yeah. Done one there, so hopefully see what happens.
So you'd want to do both the 2 and the 4 at the World Champs later this year?
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, but definitely 400.
Well, your speed looks pretty good. Have you been working on your speed as well, like Ella?
Yeah, I've been working on my speed and a bit more technique side of things. So, yeah, I think it's improving, and my results are sort of showing it.
Brilliant. Well, good luck for the rest of the year. Now, Isis, those conditions look pretty tough out there. Was the headwind a bit of a struggle towards the end of that 200?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the same for the heat. The conditions weren't great, but we definitely went out there and ran a pretty hard race. So, yeah, it was all right.
Now, I know as an able-bodied athlete at the end of a race, when you start to get lactic acid, it's really difficult. When you've got cerebral palsy and the lactic kicks in and you've got a massive headwind, how do you, it's maybe naive to ask this, but how do you keep on your feet?
Yeah, it is quite scary, and it takes a little while to sort of figure out. I know it always used to be something that I struggled with a lot. I guess in the end it becomes more of a, focus on staying upright and tall rather than anything else, and that tends to help keep you on your feet. But when you've got a wind pushing at you in the opposite direction, it definitely makes it tricky.
Well, I tell you what, it was a headwind so tough. We don't look at times, but great training one, ladies. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, now we're back to the long jump. We did see Shemaiah James earlier. He jumped 783.
Yeah, I know. And then if you go on a count back, it knocks Angus Gould back down to fourth.
So currently, out of the Australians, we've got Christopher Petrescu. He's on the runway for his last jump, 790. Liam Adcock, 784. Shemaiah James, 783, but a next best 775. Angus Gould, 783. Next best 769. This is unbelievable.
It is.
And they're all right near their PBs.
Yep.
So this is excellent work. I know Gould's got a 790.
No, Gould's got a 775 as well, so it's only because of that second 775. No, another one from Petrescu.
He's the national champ. But so Shem has two 775s.
Shem has two 775s. Gould has one.
A double count back. I don't know. Use the hashtag Summer of Aths if you've ever seen a double count back in the long jump for a bronze. Let's just give them two bronze. I don't reckon you need to go two count backs. One count back, give them a medal.
Yeah.
We need to clear this up.
Wow.
We'll go back out to the track now. The men's ambulant 200 metres, Nathan Woods, Matthew Guild, Timothy Foster, James Turner, Lindsay Hendy, Braden Davidson, Terry Price and Alberto Campbell. So again from the inside, it's Woods, Guild, Foster, Turner, Handy, Davidson, Price and Campbell. We've seen all these athletes join together now. We saw Matthew Guild in the 100 pushing Evan O'Hanlon. We saw James Turner take out that 400 earlier. We saw Alberto Campbell take line honours in that 400. But it's the three Queenslanders across the field. That's Lindsay Handy in the inside, battling Alberto Campbell. But Lindsay Handy, actually I think Alberto Campbell might have just had the dip.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. That was going to be close on the line. So we'll have to wait for the photo finish on that one. Obviously, from where we're sitting up here, it was a little harder to tell. But what a run. It was like sort of going ebbs and flows in that one. First you thought it was Campbell, then it was the next, then they're going back and forth.
Yeah, it really shows just the range here, but we'll see what can get the dip to the naked. Oh, I think Alberto,
maybe.
It's like we got that camera right on the finish line.
Yes. The photo finish judges have been pretty busy this week.
We've made it hard for them. But there's been a lot of races too.
Yes.
That was a negative 2.1, so it is settling down a little bit.
Yeah, 200 runners still aren't going to like it. Let's be honest.
They're only a few short minutes away, those 200-metre athletes.
As soon as you see the little negative sign, that's it. Sprinters unhappy after that.
No. Even if it's a minus 0.1.
It makes you wonder, why don't they just have the 800 track, the 800 marks, surveyed as the 200 marks?
I don't see why not. There's a finish line over there. Just do it. We can set it up. There's no reason why not. I just get them when they got this track done, they should have just repainted it. But it looks like Tam's got your athletes down there. It looks like it's got James Turner, Alberto Campbell, and Lindsay Hendy.
I do, because I actually still don't know who won that, guys. Do you have any idea?
I think Lindsay may have picked me. May. Oh, it's pretty close there.
It was a fantastic race. Is it great having somebody to push each other to get through to those fast times?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, yeah, a bit of a headwind, but I think we managed to push through it, so, yeah.
I think you're being really kind. A bit of a headwind. It was pretty darn strong, don't you think? Now, Lindsay, times comparable. Were you happy with it? Not happy?
I know. I didn't even look at the time, actually. So, yeah.
Okay, we're still waiting for the results to come up, but, you know, we'll go with the dead heat first till we see the result. James, stepping down a distance. You obviously, we're used to seeing you at the 400 and 800. Now we're seeing you at a 200. What's the reason behind that? Bit of speed in the legs?
Yeah, a bit of speed in the legs, and also for my classification, after Worlds, they're cutting my 800 metres, so I've got to come down to start doing sprinting from now on. So it's a bit of a change, but it's good to get some times down. Oh, it's different though.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Well, that's really annoying for us watching on that they're cutting out the 800, because it's fantastic watching you run the 8, but obviously you've got the world record on the 400 now, so you'll be fine.
Oh, no, I don't have the world record on the 400 yet. I've only ever run faster than it on unofficial meets.
Oh, okay. So 53.14 in Canberra, and it doesn't count yet.
Yeah, it doesn't count yet.
Well, we know that you can do it.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's just see if I can do it when it counts.
Okay, now we're still waiting for the result, guys, up there. Do you know who has won that race?
No, we haven't seen anything up on the board yet, so we'll just have to keep waiting.
With para events, when there's multiple classifications, it's really, really hard to tell who's going to win on percentages. It's very involved process that they go through to find out.
Well, I'm glad you're saying that because seriously, we just wait till you guys come out behind the podium. But when I find out, guys, we'll be the first to tell you. I'll come in and find you. Well done, though. Great race.
Thank you.
It is a bit of a bummer that they're losing that 800 metres. There's a start list. Michelle Singh, Brittany Pettit, Nicola McDermott, Eleanor Patterson, Zoe Timmers, Denise Snyder, Paige Wilson, Emily Whalen, Cassie Purdon, Claire Gibson. And there'll be some more athletes on the other side of the page. Yep, Sean Yi. Now, I'd say the only benefit for James Turner, if they do cut his 800 metres, is no one can break his world record.
In second place, recipient of the silver medal performance at 30.74 seconds, 91.8%.
New South Wales athlete just unfortunately having a failure at 1 metre 70.
Now, just on one of the athletes in this event, Zoe Timmers from Western Australia. She took out the competition at the Summer of Vass Grand Prix. Now, I was speaking to her while she was there, and before the competition, she was actually thinking of pulling out, didn't want to do it anymore, wasn't enjoying it, things were going wrong, she had injuries, all that sort of stuff. And she was starting to contemplate what she wanted to do next. She was actually going to go off to Women's AFL, so we were actually going to lose her. And there she goes. She goes out there, has a crack at it, jumps a PB, and wins the competition. Next thing you know, bang, she's back in. And it's great to see. I'm so happy we didn't lose her to the AFL.
Sometimes all it takes is just that one moment.
It does. It's been a long time since she had jumped a PB, and I said to her, look, forget about your age now. You are now in the best form of your life.
Never jumped higher.
If you're willing to continue on back then when you jumped that last PB, now you should have that same enthusiasm moving on, and she's got it. And I can't wait to see her jump today.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see. Obviously, a few good WA athletes out there.
Yep.
Claire Gibson out there as well. Brittany Pettit.
Talented junior. Yep. Brittany.
Younger sister
of Ellen Pettit. Yep.
3 times Commonwealth Games rep, but some in triple jump, some in high jump.
Yeah. She's good across multiple disciplines.
Oh, the sun really starting to come out now. I'm not sure if we've seen this for quite some time.
I have to get the sunglasses on.
Oh, it's glary. That's Paige Wilson from New South Wales. She's going through her final mental preparations for another attempt at 1 metre 70. And easily clear. She won the under-20 high jump only earlier in the week.
We've got another hashtag for us. So obviously we've got hashtag Summer of Vass, but we want you to write into us and let us know what is the strongest headwind or tailwind you've ever had.
What's the hashtag for
Whether
that one?
it be a jump or a run or whatever it is, doesn't matter. What is the strongest headwind or tailwind you've ever had to deal with?
Hashtag Summer of Wind.
Hashtag Summer of Wind.
There we go.
But make sure you put in there hashtag Summer of Vass, because obviously we want to pick it up. And we would absolutely love to know what conditions you've actually been dealt before.
So don't forget, hashtag Summer of Vass. Let us know how you're watching, where you're watching. Join the conversation. There you go. You can do it on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Athletics Australia. Maybe if you're on Twitter, maybe if you're on Instagram and you want to share your journey, use the hashtag Summer of Aths. And if you want to tell us about the strongest headwind or tailwind, use the hashtag Summer of Wind.
Summer of Wind.
Don't get it confused with Summer of Wind. That's a different one.
Oh, jeez. It's been a long 8 days, eh?
Yeah, it has been.
Your jokes are getting thin.
Field finals continue this afternoon here at Australian Athletics Championship 2017. Next is the high jump final for women.
Bar moving up now to 175. And that is Michelle Singh from Malaysia.
Michelle Singh of Singapore.
Singapore, sorry.
Of Western Australia. Nicola McDermott, New South Wales.
There is another Malaysian athlete out there in the field.
Victoria. Zoe Timmers of Western Australia.
And that would be, Sean. I don't think it's Sean. I think it's Sin Yi.
Emily Whelan of New South Wales. Cassie Purdon of...
How do you know? Have you asked?
I don't believe in the Malaysian language they say S-E as a sure. But I could be wrong. Use the hashtag Summer... No, there's no other hashtag for that one.
I think the high jumps are going to appreciate this, the dry up, the sun coming out. Because obviously it's tough, especially when you're coming in on that angle, on your takeoff. Last thing you want is a wet, damp track.
Yeah, exactly right. Plenty of speed there, but just clipping that bar. The women over the back straight, they're warming up and they're getting ready for the women's 200-metre final. From lane 2, Sophie Stanwell, Larissa Pastanatsky, Jacinta Beecher, Ella Nelson, Toya Whistle, Jessica Perez, Georgia Hulls and Morgan Mitchell.
Quality start list for this women's 200-metre final. There's Stanwell there. She's moved to the ACT now, down from Newcastle. Being trained by Mike Barber down there. Also the coach of Kelsey Lee Roberts.
Yeah, heptathlete. Maybe moving her way into some sprints.
Yeah, I spoke to her just the other day. She's obviously trying to build on that speed and base, but eventually wants to go back to the HEP. So I think we'll see her back at the HEP sometime soon. And as we saw there, Ella Nelson, she's all smiles. She's happy to be here. She's had a little stint out at Altus. She's come back. She's racing, and I think she's going to head on back. And there's Toya Whistle doing a practice start.
I did overhear a conversation between her and Talia Clark. They're both, I think, flying back Monday. So, you know, have a bit of a recovery after the Sunday and fly back fresh on Monday.
There you go. There's Mitchell out in the outside lane, lane 9.
Yeah,
not often she finds herself out there.
More a relaxed Morgan Mitchell. Obviously not her head event. She's already got that out on the 400 metres out. And now she's just going to try and come home over the top of some of these two runners.
Now, I floated this idea with you earlier. Imagine if we had a ruling that if you win the 100-metre title, you get automatic progression through to the final of the 200. Or reverse, depending on the program.
What about the 4 as well? The 4 gets to come down. If you had a 10-lane track. You get a 10-lane track.
Yeah.
The one winner gets to have a free start. The 4 gets it, and then, you know.
I wouldn't be too upset with that.
There's not many 10-lane round tracks at the moment, but I know there's a couple in Queensland, so easy place to do it.
Just a little bit of an extra reward for taking the title.
Look at that dark clouds in the background there. That looks ominous. So Ella Nelson needs to take this out. 23.00 is what she ran at the Summer Baths Grand Prix in Canberra. And I'm sure she's looking to big cheers for Ella. Big fan favourite at a home track. Went 23.59 here last year. And this will be 4 in a row if she can take this one out. 2014, 2015, 2016, been getting faster every year. And she'll be up against the 100-metre champion. So watch for Whistle to get away very, very quickly, and watch for Morgan Mitchell to come home fast.
Now, I think this is going to come down to how far Toya can get out in front of Ella off this bend.
Could the headwind aid Toya?
Possibly. She is the stronger athlete, obviously. A little shorter, lower centre of gravity. Obviously, Trey was saying that he finds it easier to push through the headwinds than some of the taller athletes.
And with so much work to make up for Ella in the home straight, in the strongest part of the wind.
Yep.
Well, we'll wait and see. Keep an eye out on those middle lanes, 5 and 6. Nelson and Whistle. Away and running, Whistle getting a cracking start. She's already passed the shoulder of Jess Perez, and she's got the rest of the athletes in her sights. But Ella Nelson not too far away. Jacinta Beecher having a great bend as well. But Ella Nelson, she's right on the shoulder of Whistle now. Whistle got a good lead. Ella Nelson trying to chase it down, but Whistle's coming away from the field. Toya Whistle might have this in the bag. Ella Nelson coming home late. But it's Toya Whistle, 23.79, taking the title of the win. Negative 2.4. Ella Nelson finishing there in second place.
There you go. We saw Toya come off the bend in front, but I didn't think it was going to be enough. But as you said, maybe this headwind has disrupted Ella a little bit, so obviously it's harder to push through and make up that ground on the stronger athlete in Whistle.
Yeah, excellent work, Dan. Looks like very close for third place there between Larissa Pasanatsky and Larissa taking out the bronze medal there with the exact same time as Morgan Mitchell, 23.28, 23.28, getting split to the thousandths. So the first three across the line, Toya Whistle, Ellen Nelson and Larissa Pasanatsky. Tough weather.
Very, very tough weather. So are we going to see a similar repeat in the men's? Obviously we've got Trey Williams out there, similar athlete to Toya, obviously shorter, stronger, has a great bend, so probably going to lead into the straight. Are these guys going to be able to chase him down in this headwind?
I don't know. He's in lane 9 as well.
Ooh.
So he's going to be a long way out in front.
Yep.
And I feel sorry for Craig Burns in lane 2. That's tough.
When you're someone that is as tall as Craig Burns, it does make it tough. And there's your results from the women's 200 metres finals. Toya Whistle taking it out 23.76. Ella Nelson second in 23.91. And rounding out the podium, Larissa Pasanatsky in 24.28. Actually the same time as Morgan Mitchell, but obviously down to the thousandths, as you said.
Looks like Tamsin's got Toya Whistle and Ella Nelson.
I am. It was very tough conditions. Big headwind, Toya. You're struggling for your breath a little bit, but fantastic bend.
Yes. So congrats to Ella Nelson. She's a good runner.
She's a great runner.
Great runner she is. And I was a headwind. Nothing we can do. So, but happy with my performance.
All right, I'm going to let you go, Toya, because you're obviously struggling with your breath. Go rest up. Good job. Ella, it's fantastic to have you back here. Now, a lot of people won't understand, and we saw you in Rio running fantastic, but then it's been a pretty tough road to get back here. I've seen pictures of you in moon boot. There's been injuries. It's awesome to just have you back on the track.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. I love running in Sydney. It's my home and everything, and I love Australia, but I'm so excited to head back overseas and get to work and put this behind me.
Yeah, no, it's a stepping stone for you. You just need to tick some boxes, and you're going to be named in that Australian team to head over to London. World champs is obviously your goal. You just missed that final in Rio. Do you think you can push for that final this year?
Yeah, I'm so excited for London. It's going to be a great championship, and I can't wait.
Awesome. It's so nice to hear you so hungry, Ella. Get on that plane, head back to Phoenix, get some work under the belt, stay injury-free. No doubt we'll see you in that final.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah, I definitely think we will be seeing her in that final over in London. And we're only a few short minutes away from the men's 200-metre final. Set to go at 1:58. That wind still in the face of our male athletes. Down the home straight. The back straight, setting up for those hurdles is Cassie Purden. Ready to have an attempt at 1:75. Well, just not getting that takeoff right there, unfortunately. See the men's shot put getting through their final stages of warming up. The women's high jump, Michelle Singh from Singapore. Now, if you can't make it to the World Championships as an athlete, why not head over there as a fan? The Aussie Aths fans, supporters tour. They had their first one in 2015 to Beijing, and it was an amazing experience. All the events are sold out from what I've heard, so these guys have tickets already for plenty of those awesome finals. It could be Usain Bolt's last ever World Championships. It might be the last chance to see him out there. So grab your chance to go. Visit athletics.com.au. And it looks like Tamsin's there down trackside with the top three from that men's long jump.
I am. I'm here with Shem, Chris and Liam. That was a really tight competition.
Yeah, probably one of the best competitions that I've been in today. So, like, these guys really pushed me and made me perform to my best way to the end of the round. So it was a really good comp. I was happy with it.
So you were equal with 83, but you got the bronze on a countback.
Yeah.
You were 84 and 90 in the first round. So you just got the job done in the first round.
Yeah. Got the first jump, and then after that I couldn't get another good jump in, and I knew these guys were going to come at me, so just lucky I held on.
Well, they came hard, didn't they? You hit a big one late in the rounds. Was it the fifth round? Yeah. You were happy with the 84?
It was all right. I could have done a bit better, but it was a good comp. Had fun, so that's all that really matters, right?
Well, I know all of you can go a lot further. Were the conditions really tough? Because we were watching the wind gauge, and it was completely different to the one out on the track. Was it really windy down there?
A few of my jumps, I felt a massive tailwind behind me, but halfway through my run up, it was a headwind, so it threw me off a few times, but yeah.
So really swelly. Did you find the same thing, tough?
Yeah, like the wind was kind of just fluctuating a lot. But yeah, it's just kind of stuff you have to manage with at the time. So, yeah.
You know what I love about that is it's good practice for majors, first round. So hopefully you guys are going to have a few more competitions before Worlds and hopefully nail that qualifier.
Yeah, it's good. It's good us all being like around the same age group so that we can all push each other, and hopefully we'll have a lot of competitions together in the future.
Heading overseas at all?
Probably not. Hopefully Uni Games in August, yep.
Uni Games cool, and home Commonwealth Games the aim?
I'm not sure yet. Let's see how we go.
I love it. The most late guys back on track. Well done. Congratulations. Great competition, guys.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tamsin. Good to see those three out there together. Big jumps. Obviously, you see there Joseph Miller, New Zealander, in his Waikato club singlet. Japanese athlete Naoki Masafumi. I do like the customary bow from them.
There's Tom Gamble. Hasn't been beaten this year.
No.
But a bit of an illness.
Yep.
Which might have zapped a little bit of energy. Nathan Riali. Probably the surprise packet from the heats taking his way into this final.
Yep. I think Gamble's still coming in here as the odds-on favourite, but obviously gamble responsibly. Got to make sure. But my money's on him.
Well, there you go. Craig Burns, tough lane draw for the athlete. Lucky it's not lane one. But they'll all be chasing Troy Williams.
Yeah, I think so. And it'll be. I'm just interested to see how this plays out after the first 100. Whether Trey comes off the bend in front, if he has that lead, it might be tough for these guys to chase him down.
But Miller, class athlete, 2037 New Zealand record at their championships.
Yeah. I felt like he held a little back in that heat.
Definitely. Off and racing on the outside, Trey Williams, a brilliant start. Nathan Riali trying to chase him down. Joseph Miller up on the shoulder of Masafumi. And it's Hartman in the inside as well. Gamble a little bit behind there. Miller out in front with Hartman. Trey Williams chasing him down, but it's Hartman and Miller. They're fighting head to head. Craig Burns coming up in lane one, but Joseph Miller taking the win there. 21-1-1. The win negative 3.1, sorry.
Wow. There you go. So obviously Trey found a little hard out there in lane 9. Obviously couldn't see anyone, didn't know where anything was. But obviously Miller and Hartman on the inside had the better of the lanes. They've come off the bend, probably in front. And those two guys, and when you're two big guys like that, you'll run down the street with such long strides, and it is hard to chase someone down like that. So the official times, 21.09 for Joseph Miller. Hartman 21.19, and Craig Burns taking out podium position there in 21.61.
Yeah, Trey Williams will finish with the bronze out of the Australians, 21.62. Very, very close there. And Alexander Harmon, that's his third national title in a row over the 200.
Wow, there you go. He's really cementing himself as a 200 runner of Australian history. You know, how many have we had that have gone 3 in a row, you know? It's very hard to come out here and win multiple national championships in any event.
It is. You've got to be in shape at the right time. Obviously, that time away for Tom Gamble, just too much, zapped the energy. Looked good in the heat, but just find it hard to come back again for those rounds. And I'm sure he'll be out there to hunt down some faster times. But it looks like Tamsin's with a couple of the boys. They look pretty dead down there.
I got to tell you, it's carnage down here, guys. Firstly, Joseph, you've backed up from the 100 last night. It was awesome to see on the start list. You said you weren't sure last night, so your body pulled up okay?
Yeah, I was feeling good this morning. Trey gave me a really good push in the heat, so yeah, just want to come out, get the double. You know, one gold isn't enough. Need both. It's a set.
It's a greedy New Zealander here. But you're in fantastic shape. It was pretty tough qualifying round for you guys. It was pretty tough. You had the first 3 across the line in the 100 in your heat, so you really couldn't rest on your laurels.
Nah, when I was signing up to say, yeah, I'm here, I'm going to do it, I think my seed time was 21.1. I was like, oh, it's going to cause some problems, and it did, but made it through. And yeah, just happy as.
Great effort, well done. Go rest up, Joseph. Okay, I'll go to the next person who's dying. Alex, you must be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely very happy. Would have been nice to have beaten Miller, but you know, he's a class athlete. He's broken the New Zealand record in the last few weeks, so to be so close, it's reassuring.
I think the best thing is the fact that, you know, obviously you would have been extremely disappointed with your 100 metres where you missed the start and didn't make that final. But you've come back today. It shows great mental strength and you know, won the national title. Yeah, no, it was very disappointing last night. The bloke in the blocks next to me was twitching. I thought they'd pull it back, but they didn't. And missed the start by a mile. So disappointed, but now to win the Australian champs, obviously behind Miller, makes up for it. So, wrapped. Well, 2 in a row. Awesome effort, and good luck for heading. 3 in a row, that's right, you did too. Naughty me. Good luck heading towards London World Champs. We'll see you in the start line healthy, okay? And Craig, have to go, Craig. You've stepped down to the 400. Surely you're not as tired as the rest of the guys.
No,
it's only half the distance.
I love this. It's so good. I can, stand up and not have to fall down on the ground and, pass out. So it's good.
Pretty tough for a tall man to have that inside lane. So you probably tactic was to cruise the bend just a little bit and then come home strong?
Well, I had lane 9 for the heat. I much prefer lane 2 in this track anyway. So I was happy with lane 2.
Why is that?
You can tell how you're doing. Even though you shouldn't be looking at other athletes, in lane 9 you have no idea. So you get to the 100 metre, everyone gets in the straight, and you don't know if you're doing crap or if you're doing good, and all of a sudden, bang, they're on you. So lane 2 is good. Well, good start to your 200 metre career. A medalist at the National Championships, a silver. I think this is my first medal at Sydney. I've done that many nationals, and I've got medals everywhere else, but not in Sydney, so I'm happy. Well, that's awesome to hear that you're happy, but you're going to be trying to qualify for the 200 metre for the Commonwealth Games next year? Definitely, for sure, 100%. Oh, brilliant. Well, great run, Craig. Well done. Enjoy it. Thanks, Tamsin.
Thanks for that, Tamsin. Good to hear from those 200 runners. And there's your start list for the women's discus throw. Katrina Moore, Karen Clark, Lauren Bruce, A. Shikamoto, Kimberly Mulhall, Taran Golshevsky. I'll leave that one. Sosititina Kaka. Jeez, they're killing me here. Kirsty Legg Williams, Danny Stevens, love that. Tarina Keenan.
Great effort, Ben.
Yeah, no. The last 2 races haven't been some of my finest, so I do apologise for anyone at home having to put up with listening to me.
Oh, I'll take this one, Ben. Hannah Jones, Elizabeth Clay, Fiona Morrison, Michelle Jenica, Sally Pearson, Brianna Bean, Danielle Shaw, and Abby Tadeo.
Thanks, Lynchy.
So and down the back straight, there's still the 2.0 there. I think they've just left that on since the heats, but they're going to have a tailwind.
Yeah, they're going to have a tailwind, but it's going to come down to whether it's legal or not. Because obviously we've
That's true.
seen some pretty strong winds out here on the front straight. So I think it's got to be up there, but it's just going to come down to timing. It's just whether at that moment the wind dies down enough to become legal.
And it could be the case if these girls have got a bit of extra speed, it might push them too close to these hurdles.
Possibly, and that does happen. The hurdlers don't usually like a wind that's too strong. They like it in that 0.5 to 1.5 sort of range.
Very precious, the hurdles, yes.
Yeah. But I can understand it, though. It's a stride pattern thing. And if you do get close to the hurdle, it does disrupt your race plan.
Yeah, it certainly is a rhythm. And I know a lot of the male hurdlers, they do have to chop their strides just in a normal condition. So if anything with a 3, that could be chaos.
And that's the thing with hurdles. It's not always the fastest flat runner that will win. It's one of those things where you can be too fast for the hurdles. And when you do that, you actually have to chop your stride, like you said, in order to be able to get the 3 strides in before the next hurdle. But this is going to be a cracking race.
Yeah, some class athletes out there.
Yeah, we see Janneke doing her customary jiggle dance. I don't know if is there a name for it? Is there a name for the dance?
I don't think it's...
Can we name it?
If there is, it's been unofficial.
Do we have rights to name it?
I don't think we do.
Can we just unofficially name it?
Well, do you have a good name for it?
No, but I'm sure we can come up with one between now and the end of the race.
There's a couple of athletes in here capable of a sub-13. Brianna Bean ran her PB here last year at the National Champs. Very close to that 12-second 99. 12.98 is what you need. And Michelle Janneke getting 99. Probably one of the most frustrating times to achieve. Sub-13 still, but not a World Champs qualifier.
Yeah.
And you did see earlier, Sally Pearson just destroying the field, really, in that heat, 12.74. So she just needs to win. And she is booked to where she had so much success in 2012, back to the same track.
Yep. It's a special place for Sally.
Pearson out with her customary fast start, and she clears the first hurdle with a good lead. Janneke chasing her down, but Janneke hitting some hurdles. Sally Pearson now pulling away from the field. Bean into second place. It's Bean in second, but Sally Pearson 12.54 the win. 2.3. I don't think Bean has seen that wind.
And
but
just
I reckon
quickly,
Bean might be getting under that 13-second barrier there.
Yeah, it looks like Tadio's actually gone down. She's hit the hurdle. I think it was about the 6th hurdle, and she's gone down. The officials are over there to make sure. As we see here, Pearson just running away with it, this one. But then
Janneke
we go,
hitting.
Tadio, she just goes through that. Oh,
just clipping the shins.
We do hope that Abby's okay. But
Danielle
what a
Shaw.
win. What a win by Pearson there.
12.54. The unofficial winning time. We're still waiting to see as Sally makes her way back into front of the home crowd. She's absolutely wrapped. And what a class athlete. Just too strong for the field.
It looks like she's a little bit relieved as well. I think there was a bit of pressure built up on her coming into this. Obviously, she didn't have the qualifier. She's been out for a while. But to come out here, get the qualifier in the heats, get the win, lock her spot on that team for London, I think she'll be stoked.
And she got it in before that storm came in.
Yeah.
Now, Tamsin, I saw that embrace with Sally down there. She looks pretty relieved. Is she up for a chat?
I have, Sal. Sorry, I'm puffing too. It was that warm down after the race, Sal. Pretty fast. I think you could run the 100 as well, just as fast as you used to. To hear that you're puffed too. Amazing to have you back, Sally.
I think I'm going to cry, sorry.
I don't blame you. It's been a pretty tough year, a big battle to get here. You have a lot of fans in this crowd, Sally. We're all very proud, Sally. Talk us through that race.
I was really, really nervous coming into these championships. It's a lot of pressure on myself, I guess, being an elite athlete and trying to coach myself at the same time. And I guess I don't have anything to prove as an athlete, but to be able to come back here and be able to do this today, it really means a lot to me. I've got so many supporters here with my friends and my training partner, and especially my husband, who's been such a rock for me the last 8 to 9 months when I decided to take on this challenge. So I can't thank all my supporters enough. All the rest of them, you know who you are. You all got me here today. And for the fans, thanks for still supporting.
Tell us, Sal, how close were you to giving it away when that hamstring in your body, your back, just weren't playing the game that we wanted them to play leading into Rio?
I know, it wasn't even the hamstring really, it was the Achilles that I did after breaking my wrist about 7 months before. And so that really played with my mind. And then doing my hamstring just 7 weeks before the Olympics was devastating, but probably slightly a relief as well, because mentally I was finding it really tough. I was holding on for as long as I could, but I just couldn't do it. So to be able to come here today after probably almost 2 years from being able to run at this sort of pace, it's just mind-blowing.
Well, I think you're the most competitive athlete that I've ever come across, and I mean, your record speaks for itself. But you ran in the heats this morning, and it was the fastest time since that Rome race where you broke your arm. So can we almost start to say that Sally Pearson of old is back?
If I win the World Championships, yeah, I'll say that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she's qualified for the World Championships, our Olympic gold medalist. We absolutely love her, and it's brilliant having you back, Sally, the national champion again over the 100 hurdles.
Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Well, yeah, a big emotional journey there for Sally Pearson.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a tough road for her. Obviously, we do feel for her. We sort of feel like we ride along the journey with her.
And just that tailwind, just forcing a couple of these athletes to just pop up at some of those, and it caused Jenica going from second back into third.
Yeah, and obviously she didn't have a clean race, Jenica. She won't be too happy with that one. She was in a good position before that started to happen, so maybe the winds did play havoc with her there. But Brianna should be happy with that. First sub, it's not legal, but first sub...
It's a mental barrier as well.
13-second run, yeah. And it's only a 2.3, so it's not like it's a crazy 4.5 or anything silly like that. So it's only a 2.3, so she now knows that she has the capabilities of going out there and running that World Champs qualifier.
Now this is the women's long jump. They're only in their first round. Talia Clark went 6:38 down at Summer Avath's Grand Prix. Just spending a bit of time in Altus. And backing up from her win in the triple jump. We'll see what she can produce in this long jump event. Just dragging the foot there a little bit. Looks only to be high fives.
Yeah, seemed a little flat on the takeoff as well. So, but obviously it's the early stages of this competition. It's only round one, so she's got plenty more jumps to come.
And Yapseen Lee from Malaysia going over 1.80 m.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of update on Abby Tadeo. She's got the medical staff out there. They're looking after her. She's actually just being wheeled off the track in a wheelchair. So our thoughts and prayers are with Abby. We obviously hope that it is nothing serious. Hopefully maybe just some cuts and bruises. And if we keep it at that, I think that'll be okay. But obviously we hope that it's nothing more serious than that. But the medical staff doing a great job out there with her, ensuring that she is treated the best there is. Anything she needs, looks like they're on it.
Yeah, as we say that, the conditions do worsen. There's a lot of brave souls on the back straight. As you see, Bankstown athlete Jack Hicking on the runway, 7th in the 2014 World Under-20 Champs. Kelsey Berryman from New Zealand getting one up and around the 6 metre mark.
year will support in the delivery of the London 2017 IAAF World Championships.
Bar currently at 5 metres.
Once again, please congratulate Front Row.
Just not getting it right for Hicking. Looks like he might be bowing out of the competition there at the 5 metre mark. PB of 5:40. Used to have the New South Wales state record for the vault. And that's been taken by training partner very recently. Angus Armstrong went 5:43, then 5:45. Brittany Pettit just shaving the hamstrings across that 183. But that women's long jump that we've just been watching, Na Anang, Andrea Thompson, Jessie Harper, Talia Clark, Kelsey Berryman, Maria Ruanui, Cinta Wardana, Margaret Gain, Elizabeth Heading and Nicole Maynard. They're your 10 starters, 3 jumps, and then it'll cut down to 8 athletes for another 3 attempts. As this rain starts to blanket down onto this Sydney Olympic Park Athletics Centre.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I was hoping that the rain would stay away. I hope we could get through the full program without it starting again, but unfortunately it's starting to come down. It's not super heavy, it's just that light drizzle, but it's enough to cause a few little issues, especially with these field events.
Yeah, exactly. As you see on your screen now, the 2014 Glasgow gold medalist in the high jump, Eleanor Patterson, onto the runway, bar at 183. And a good clearance there for Patterson. Now down the back straight, we've had the women's hurdles. Now it's time for the men's. From lane 2, Nicholas Andrews, Ben Kongbutt, Jack Conway, Justin Molino, Nicholas Huff, Wataru Yazawa, Matthew De Bruin and Jacob McQuarrie. Keep an eye out for Huff. He needs that time.
He does need that time, but from what I've heard and what I've seen of late, all the Huff's runs, for some reason, the rain loves to follow him. I don't know what's going on.
He needs to...
When he came down to Canberra, the hurdles were first. For some reason, the heavens opened up, rain poured. As soon as this event was over, boom, sunshine out. Didn't have rain for the rest of the day.
I'd be wary if I saw Huff on a start list if I wanted to run the comp.
It's been sunny. Come out. It's Huff's race. It's raining again. Come on.
Damn it, Huff.
Come on, rain. Stop it.
Well, it's lucky. Huff, hopefully he's only going to run for 13.48 seconds.
Exactly.
And he'll be out. Rain will open.
It was
sunshine,
torrential,
rainbows,
and he went 13:59.
lollipops.
So this is very light. So I reckon he can go fast here.
Molino get a standard fast start. He'll be first over the hurdle, but Huff into his running now. It's white singlets in the centre. Huff and Molino, they're going hurdle for hurdle. Huff now starting to get into his stride. They're chopping a bit of wood out there over those hurdles, but it's Huff. He's going to take the win.
13:54.
Oh, 13:54, the win. Plus 3.5.
3.5. Unfortunate. Unfortunate there, obviously, the 3.5. We want to see the legals, but this wind a little too strong. Still, 13:54. It's positive signs for Huff.
13:53. It's been rounded down. And like we were saying before, it's tough for Huff out there with those tailwinds.
Yep. He's a big guy. He's also fast. He's got great flat speed. So he's a guy sometimes, as you said, chops a bit of wood. You know, you have to get out there, chop the stride, just to make sure you can get your 3 strides in before you hit the next hurdle.
Justin Molino, 13:66.
Wow.
For him out there. Wataru Yazawa, 13:76. And Jacob McQuarrie, 13:97. Only a youngster made the World Under-20 champs last year. First sub-14. And Tamson's with your first 2 across the line.
I am. I'm here with Nicholas Hoff and Justin Molino. Well, unfortunately, it was just too big of a tailwind, but it was still a fantastic race.
Yeah, definitely. You can certainly feel the wind out there, I think. was getting a bit messy towards the end and I couldn't work out why, but I think it's just we had such a big tailwind behind us. But yeah, still a good race, and thanks to Athletics Australia for turning the races around. That was really helpful for us because there's no point running into a 3.5 metre headwind. So.
Not at all, and especially when it's cold and starting to drizzle. It is a really big tailwind, and it kind of looked like by the back end of that race, because you got a fantastic start, that you were pushing just a little bit close to those hurdles, and perhaps hit, I think it was the 8th and the 9th maybe, but you hit them quite hard, but you stayed on your feet, so must be happy with the win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I usually hit the hurdles, like all of the hurdles, and they haven't been, so something was wrong, but I'm back to how it should be. So.
Well, at least know that you can hit the hurdles and stay on your feet, but it was a great one. National champ again, well done.
Great, thank you.
And you're very close to the Olympics last year. We're going to see you getting that time, getting on the plane, going to London.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I was hoping to get it today, but I'm running well, and I'll just keep that going and probably go overseas, and had a much better base this year, so confident I can get it.
And Justin, it was tough out there. Obviously, you've got to adjust things when the wind is so strong behind you. But great start, but perhaps.
Yeah, I think I felt quicker out in the heats, actually. So I knew I had a bit of work to do in the middle of the race. And I could feel Nick starting to hit a few hurdles, and I knew he was getting tight, getting close to the hurdles. But I just tried to focus on my own race, and I think I finished quite well. I was happy with the back end of the race, which is normally the weaker part of the race for me.
Well, I was going to say that because obviously the back end, to stay so relaxed, 110 metre hurdles, they're so high, is a very difficult thing to do, but you did that perfectly in this race, and you did close very strongly.
Yeah, and I knew that we had a big tailwind as well, so I just knew that I had to shorten my strides a little bit and account for that. And we had a 4 metre tailwind in Canberra a couple of weeks ago, so I think that race was a bit of an advantage for me leading into the Nationals, because I knew what I had to do here today. And again, thanks to Athletics Australia for turning it around. It's just unfortunate that it was too big, but better than a headwind.
Always nice to see faster times. You've got a wedding to organise. Do you have time to head overseas and try and chase that qualifier as well?
I'm not sure if I will this year. I think I'll focus on Com Games for next year, so I'll probably have a couple of weeks off and then just get back into a bit of base work and start planning for this wedding.
Awesome.
I think we've booked it for May 12th next year, so just after Commonwealth Games, so hopefully I get there and we'll be able to have a nice honeymoon after.
Perfect. Just representing Australia at the Commonwealth Games. I love it. Now, well done, Sydney Uni. Great effort. Top 2 in the...
It's been a great rivalry that Nick and I have had over the last sort of 6 or 7 years, and I missed a couple of those years, so I'm just happy to be back out here with these guys. It was 10 years ago that I won my first national title, so it's just nice to be back out here again. And unfortunately couldn't get Nick today, but it's just such a great race that we always have together, and he always makes me lift to my best, and I'm really happy with that time, even though it wasn't a legal tailwind. It's still the quickest that I've run in probably 6 or 7 years.
Yeah. Well, it was an awesome race. We love the rivalry. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's been an excellent rivalry there. Back in 2007, Molina went 13.55 to find himself the second fastest hurdler of all time in Australia. He's recently been passed by Huff and Sam Baines. But now still, imagine we've got the second fastest and the 4th fastest hurdlers of all time head-to-head from the same club, Sydney University.
Yep. Proud history, that club.
Certainly has been around for a very long time. Now, some updates in these field events. That's Jessie Harper on the runway now in the women's long jump. And it looks like, as I see the board, Andrew Thompson might have got a 6.07 on her second round attempt. Harper, good leg shoot. And that angle might be deceiving us. It might be around the high 590s. Over at the women's discus, they're into their second round as well. Danny Stevens, a 64.03 on her first throw. Like we said earlier, I reckon we can get her every single attempt over that qualifying mark. And that's Danny about to get into the ring. Just chalking up the discus.
Yep.
Keeping it dry. Checking the wind. It's probably actually really difficult discus conditions here. The rain, and usually they prefer a headwind to keep the discus aloft.
Yep, it helps with the flight of the discus.
Unfortunately, not the right direction now. for these throws to still get a 64.03 on her first attempt. Just shows the class, because we saw her in the qualifying in Rio. It was pouring down rain.
Danny said every now and then she doesn't mind the tailwind. She can still throw with the tailwind. It's more the big guys like Denny, Harry, they prefer the headwind, obviously, because they get the discus so high. Oh, bit of a high five there.
Yeah, just short of that qualifying mark. So we won't see all of them get over there. But a high five on a day like this, not going to get over the barrier.
No, definitely not. And I guess we should do a quick little update from the pole vault. So we've got a few clear now at this 5 metre mark. Nick Southgate's gone clear at 5 metres. Stephen Clough from WA, he's gone clear at 5 metres as well. Angus Armstrong's clear at 5 metres. Curtis Marshall hasn't even come into the competition yet.
Oh, he's big and wet
still
out
waiting.
there.
And then Peter Hollenbeck, he's also clear at 5 metres. So we've got a fair few down there that are obviously jumping well, but these conditions are starting to get a little tougher now. Now this rain's coming out, could disrupt these pole vaulters just a little bit.
I think it's set in for the rest of the evening, but a good clearance there from our athlete over at the pole vault. Some shot put updates too. The Choreo Colossus, Damien Birkenhead, 19 metres 50 on his first attempt. He just needs to take the title. He's already got throws over the qualifier.
Yep.
And there is Birkenhead now chalking up the neck. And he could be up next in this circle. What good timing we've had here. Danny stepping into the circle. Now it's Damien, all in black, stepping into the circle for his second round put. Red tape out there at 20.50. World Champs qualifying mark. Oh, getting it close.
It'll be a high 19, I'd say.
There's some big fans of shot put now making their way up into the stands.
So, as you said, 19.50 on his first throw.
Now, we've actually got you probably guys can't see, but just sitting down next to us, Stuart Gingell, the bronze medalist from the 1986 Commonwealth Games in shot put. I'm not sure if you understand, just over here.
Oh, there you
Stuart
go.
Gingell.
Thanks for coming to join us. There's the start list for the men's 1,500 metre final. Now, I'm looking forward to this one. So we got Tom Forthorpe, Isaac Hockey, Ryan Gregson, Matthew Ramsden, Adam Pike, Will Austin Cray, Matthew Dempsey, Adrian Plummer, Jordan Gusman, Masab, Adam Ali, Charlie Hunter, Philo Saunders, Jai Edwards, Edward Vining, and Geordie Williams. And off they go. Geordie has a quick little look across. These athletes. Pace is on a little bit here down this back straight. Obviously just trying to get that position before the first bend.
Yeah, it looks like Gregson there, tucked in on the rail like a newborn baby.
Yep, definitely. And he's got Ramsden just behind him there. Matthew Dempsey's just off the
brakes.
front. Whoa, there we go.
The brakes have been put on, and that's not just a normal race. This is going to be tactical. You would see some elbows in there. It looks like Jordan Gusman may have been attacked by a razor there. His head is clean shaven.
Clean shaven. There you go. That's an interesting look.
These guys obviously want to spend a lot more time out in the rain.
Because he obviously hasn't had short hair before. Looks like he's got a little bit of a skull cap on. There's no tan on his head whatsoever. But let's see if it works on the track. Gives him a little bit of extra slipstream, eh?
And you may have just seen an athlete toss his sunglasses off over the finish line. David Tarbotton, statman extraordinaire and photographer, has just picked them up, but I don't think you need sunglasses in this weather.
No, I don't think it's needed at all. It'd probably hamper him a little bit because obviously the lenses would either fog up or just get the moisture on there and you wouldn't be able to see.
No.
But it'll be interesting to see. We had Ramsden up here last night. We were off air. We actually asked him some of his tactics, and we can actually say it now because obviously Gregson can't hear us.
No,
I don't think
he
he's
should
out there
not be listening
with a mobile phone watching live stream. Even though we've had plenty of athletes message in showing us exactly where they're watching, like ice bars, toilets, everything. But we know Gregson, obviously we can see him there, hasn't got the live stream on. Ramsden reckons 800 to go. He's got to go. If it any later than that, he's not going to be able to overkick Ryan Gregson.
He did say if this pace is slow, it falls straight into Gregson's hands. He's got the best kick. Geordie Williams has got an excellent kick there as well. Adam Pike at the front there, bronze medalist from last year. Charlie Hunter at the front as well. He's got a great kick.
But let's not discount Philo Saunders at the back. As we saw in that heat, the pace was slow. But the guy, he does have a kick. He's oldest in the field, but if the pace continues like this, he's in with a sniff for a medal, I reckon.
Now, I think these athletes are going to be looking for an exit strategy out of this pack, find their way to the outside. It's Gusman right on Gregson's shoulder, so Gusman will be able to tell when Gregson wants to turn on the pace. Williams and Ramsden. But there's Ramsden. He's fought his way through the pack. A lot of pushing and shoving out there. Only 650 metres left in this race, and they're starting to wind it up, but it's going to be tricky to get out of here.
It is. Ramsden hasn't really found himself in a great position. Unlike last night, we saw Luke Matthews, Heidi C got themselves into fantastic positions to be able to take the win. Now, I think Ramsden's, he's going to have to start making his move here. He can't sit back there like that, because this is playing into the hands of Ryan Gregson.
Yeah, they're already out there in lane 3. That's how slow this pace is going, and it's starting to wind up. It's going to be messy. A couple of clips on the back of their heels there. It's Gregson out on the outside. Geordie Williams moving around, and our Qatarian athlete getting into his running as well.
Oh, someone's gone down.
And that was Jordan Guzman. He's gone down. Charlie Hunter with a big lead. Ryan Gregson trying to chase him down. That's Adam Pike, Matt Dempsey, Eddie Vining. But it's Charlie Hunter with 300 metres left. Guzman's up into his running. He's going to finish this race as they get down the back straight. It's Jordan.
No, it's Ryan Gregson
sorry.
Off the front. Matthew Dempsey there in third. He's trying to make his move. Eddie Vining back there. Mike Pike. Here comes Matthew Ramsden down the outside. He's got a lot of work to do. He's still 4 or 5 metres behind Gregson. And as we said, Gregson has got the kick. He's the fastest in the field.
We're sitting next to WA, and we've got the big cheers for Matt Ramsden. He's trying to chase him down. Gregson looks comfortable out in front, though. It's going to be a big kick. All the minor placing medals aren't wrapped up yet. They're chasing him down. Matt Ramsden's closing. He's closing every single step. Millimetre by millimetre. He's chasing him down, but Ryan Gregson, he might be able to hold on. And he will, taking it out. Matt Ramsden in second place, and Will Austin-Cray taking the bronze medal. What carnage out there on the track as we see Jordan Guzman. He took a slip as the bell rang, and he'll finish the race.
It may be something that the officials might have to look at. You know, obviously these things happen, pushing and shoving, but obviously they'll assess whether anything's been untowards, whether anyone's done something illegal. We obviously hope that it's a clean race.
I'm glad that's not my job to decide.
Yes. It's obviously unfortunate for Jordan. Obviously he was in with a great chance for a medal here.
I
wonder if we can get a bit of a replay on that one. It'd be interesting to see that one again.
Training partners, Ramsden and Gregson. It was tough work there for Ramsden. He left all the work to himself there.
But you can't take anything away from Gregson. Obviously, everyone was out there to try and beat him. Here we go. Here's the fall here.
Watch Jordan Guzman, the shaved head. Just getting a clip on the back of the heel, and there's a lot of touching and on the backs and on the shoulders. It's everyone trying to steady themselves, but
I almost think that that's a little bit of fair play in that one. I don't think the officials can do much about that one. And we're going to throw down to Thames, and she's down there with our 1 and 2 from that 1,500 metres.
I'm here with Ryan and Matt. That was a really tactical race. The gun went and the rain just came down. Is that when you knew that it was going to be one of those races there the brakes were going to be on for quite a while?
No, not at all. I thought that someone would take it out, and it's a shame. There's so many, 15 really good runners in there. I thought someone would take it on because obviously my advantage is the finish. So I was expecting that someone would go, but everyone was just looking at each other and played right into my hands.
And Matt, obviously being great over the 5K as well, you would have preferred it to be a little bit harder early?
Not really. I favour my kick like these days, so I'm happy with the slow race. But I honestly thought that someone would take it out fast as well.
Well, it was interesting. Just before that bell lap, it was still so tightly punched and you're all fighting for the best position, obviously. Ryan, you were in prime position. You're becoming a great tactician. Jordan Guzman fell behind you and it looked like he clipped your feet. So did you think that you may have struggled to stay on your feet at that point?
Yeah, I thought that I was going to go down, just here. But I was able to stay on my feet, and then I thought I just got to get out of here. So Charlie Hunter had a lead at the bell, and I just thought I just got to go after him and get going a bit earlier than I usually would just to clear out of the mess.
Well, you certainly did clear, and it was fantastic for everyone here to watch because we got to see the little masters kicking action down the back straight. You made like a 5 metre lead, and you knew the youngster was going to chase you home hard. Were you a bit nervous?
I was, because there's rain coming into your face, headwind the home straight. And thankfully, I got this scoreboard. So I see Ramsden coming at me the whole time, and he ran great. How old are you? About 15, 16 still? I don't know. He's very young, and he's the future of our sport. I think he's the next Craig Mottram, so it's impressive to see him do that.
I think Ryan's right there. Matt, everyone's watching you, obviously, as the future star of athletics. We saw you at Nitro. You ran a great elimination mile. Was there a point down that front straight you thought maybe... You obviously look up to Ryan that you thought you might have been able to take him?
I do look up to Ryan. The past few months he's been like an older brother to me. But I wanted to beat my older brother today, so I was coming after him hard.
I love it, guys. Now, hopefully we see you both at the World Championships on that start line for the 1,500 metres. Great effort. Get out of this weather. Well done.
Yeah, what an exciting race there. Would have been loved to see that in a nice hot conditions. Not too hot, maybe like a mid-30s. Sun goes down. Beautiful still racing, but there's your official results. 3:52.86. Their times are inconsequential in this race. It is about the championship here. Ryan Gregson taking it out, Matt Ramsden and Will Austin-Cray with a fast finish there, just pipping last year's bronze medalist Adam Pike. And good to see Glusman getting up off the ground and making his way back around, as we do have an update from the long jump. And it is the biggest long jumper of the year, this from Australia, Na Anang, with a 6:50 in her second round. And this is Talia Clark on her third attempt. Possibly just going to get the red flag on this one, and she does. But Clark already has a 6:18, currently sitting in second place.
That was a big one, actually. Obviously got the red flag, but wasn't that far over.
No.
But it looks like that was probably around that 6:15 sort of mark.
Could test the lead there. Margaret Gain currently sitting in third place with a 6 metres 14. Margaret having a great championships back.
Yes, first one back. And here you are, you obviously medalled in the 100 and you're in a medal position in this long jump.
And to be honest, was she really gone for that long? Placing top 8 at Glasgow in the long jump and part of that 4x1 team, that was only a few short years ago.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So much can happen between 2014 and obviously now. But here's your start list for the women's 800 metres. This is the one Tamsin's been looking forward to. Lillian Price on the inside, Abigail Regan, Laura Story, Georgia Griffith, Abby Delamotte, Annalise Ruby, Alicia Kerr, and Zoe Buckman. Good field here for this women's 8.
Oh, it's a wide open field, to be honest.
It really is. All the way through, from lane 2 all the way through to 9. Anyone's race,
None of these athletes have won a national title in this distance. Obviously, Annalise Ruby's won a 400-metre title back in 2015. Not sure if Zoe might have won an 800-metre title. She's got the fastest in the field. She has a sub 2:01 to her name.
If you look through this, it's interesting. You see Buckman's obviously, say your 1,500 runner coming down. Ruby 400 going up. Abby Delamotte was a former 400 runner going up. Laura Story, former 4 hurdler, coming up to the 800. All these athletes, they haven't been 800 runners their whole careers.
Girls spending a lot of time out in the rain at the moment. Not sure if I'd be enjoying that.
No, because we're sitting up here. Actually, we're getting a little cold. I'm going to have to bring out the tracky dack soon, I reckon.
Yep. Yeah, the leg warmers on.
Yep. I couldn't imagine being down there right now
leg warmers
with the
today,
tracksuits off.
Fashion do.
Yeah, massive fashion do. A fashion must-have.
So from the inside in the 2, Price, Reagan, Story, Griffith, Delamotte, Ruby, Keir and Buckman. It'll be interesting to see who takes the pace in these first laps. And it looks like Lillian Price in lane 2 going for it.
Yeah, she is. She's going to round the bend and take them into the back straight in front. It's interesting because usually obviously Laura Story's one to lead from the front. She likes to have her own space and air out the front. But this is different today because obviously we've got their headwinds back and they're fairly strong. So oh, there we go. The brakes have been put on. The pack, no one wants to lead this one currently. It's one of those things where when they come around into this home straight,
as we've seen in other races and in the heats, in the men's, it really played havoc with those guys. Anyone who led from the front really struggled on the second lap.
And normally, Buckman does like staying on the rail, being out in front, but currently finding herself just on the outside of lane 2 with Price there. There's Story, Delamotte, Reagan tucked in on the rail as well, Griffith out the back.
You got to wonder, with the pace this slow, is this playing into Ruby's hands, being the 400-metre former 400-metre specialist?
It could, but she's stuck at the middle of the pack at the moment. A little bit of a box in. Delamotte moves around the outside. They've all got a turn of speed. Georgia Griffith at the moment, right at the tail end of the field, but it's still Price in the lead with Buckman and Story. Story's going to have a bit of trouble trying to get out of this pack here, but now Price has turned it on again.
She has. She's led from start to finish. We'll see how she goes. She's starting to move away from the field a little bit, but obviously these athletes are going to respond. They'll wait for this 200-metre mark, and then they go. As we see there, Laura Story starts to wind the legs up. Buckman with her. Here around the outside comes Georgia Griffiths. Ruby on the inside. These girls are starting to bunch up with 150 to go.
Yeah, 150 to go. Price is still in the lead. What a run for her. She's led this field, but they're spreading out across the field. It's Story, Delamotte and Griffith on the outside. Laura Story's found her way into the lead. Delamotte chasing her down. Ruby's not out of this. Georgia Griffith finding an extra leg. Abby Delamotte's still there, but Laura Story's got a big lead and she's pulling away from the field. It's going to be Laura Story to take out the national title. Ruby finding a bit of lead there to take the second place, but Laura Story, 2:05.58, your unofficial winning time for your 800-metre national champion.
Wow, what a race. What a last 100. Obviously, the race was pretty much down to that last 100, 150. And boy, did Laura Story have a fantastic finish there. She came onto the straight. They were all bunched up, but she's just too strong, too fast, too powerful coming down that last 50. The others just couldn't keep up.
No, and that fast finish from Ruby just a little bit late, but getting enough to get her the silver medal in the 800, with Georgia Griffiths finishing with the bronze. And brave running there from Lillian Price to take it to these more experienced athletes.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these distance events. With a sprint event, 1, 2, 4, everything's in your own lane, so you can pretty much only affect how you run. When you're in the distance, everyone's in that one lane, so sometimes the way you run or someone else run can affect other athletes in the field.
Yeah, exactly right. It does play into the hands for some of those maybe more experienced athletes, but it's good to see someone like Lillian Price making a first Open National final, just taking it to the field. But Tams has got your top 3 from this women's 800 metres.
Wow, what a race. Laura, obviously you didn't care about the time there today. It was just more about the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Penny said, race plan, I said, win. That's it. That's all I got. I couldn't think any more about that. Just win.
Well, it was actually really rough. It was probably hard for you guys to know exactly what's happened. You'll watch it back. But, I mean, Annie, you got pretty trapped in there at the back end when the kick came, and it's just a learning curve for you in these races.
Yeah, definitely is a learning curve, and, you know, I probably put myself in one of the worst spots to be in at 800, but, you know, I managed to still come out of that, stay patient, and then just kick as much as I could, and it wasn't enough to catch Laura. She finished so strong, so well done, but I came into it wanting to win, but getting a medal would have been just as good, so I'm very happy. And happy birthday to my boyfriend, Lachlan.
Lockie Renshaw, wherever you are, stand up. Happy birthday. Olympian. 2 Olympians. It's brilliant. Georgia Griffiths, 4th at a World Junior Championships, and mixing it with the senior girls. You were probably a little bit at the back there off a slow pace. You had to run very wide around that bend, and I thought you almost had it. Was there a stage there where you thought you were going to chase Laura down?
It always is a bit of a blur, the last 100 of the 8, and I was trying so hard, but my legs had a lot of lactic in them towards the end, so it was good to reach the line.
Well, I'd be a little bit upset if you didn't have any lactic acid in your legs after an 800. It was great to get your first senior Open 800 metre medal. Laura and Annie, great race. Go celebrate, ladies. Well done.
Thank you. And apparently I won, so I owe Lindsay Peake an ice cream.
It was a fantastic race. Excitement all round. But we're going to come to you with a little bit of an update from the field. We've got plenty of events going on out there. We obviously don't want you to miss out on what's happening right now. But if we go to the women's discus throw, obviously currently In the lead with a throw of 64.03 is Danny. She's your current leader. And in second, we've got Taran Golszewski with a throw of 56.87.
And it looks like not Christina Moore. Kimberly Mulhall.
In third place at the moment, 54.17.
There's Christina Moore there getting another one out. A little bit probably too flat out of the hands for that one. Now the women's high jump. Bar currently sitting at 1.86 metre. And Claire Gibson still have one more attempt to go on that one. Eleanor Patterson out at 1.86 as well. Looks like Zoe Timmers not too happy without her competition as well. Curtis Marshall there on the runway, 5.30 metres. For Curtis Marshall, a little bit sideways up in the air, but he should be happy. The bar stays up.
As you can see there, as he goes off over, he's just looking down at himself. It's one of those things, the pole vault mat's obviously wet, so you come down on it and just get saturated.
Down at the shot, but that was a foul for Birkenhead on his second round attempt, as they haven't finished their third round yet from our last update. And some big throws out there from our shot put boys. Looks like they're just conferring about the third round to find that top 8. Let's see who gets an extra 3 throws.
And we cut back to the women's high jump. As you can see, Eleanor Patterson on the runway. Would you call it runway? Or just the D?
Yeah, it's on the runway.
Yeah.
On the field, on the D.
On the D.
Depends. Sometimes they start, if you're Brandon Stark, you start on the fence.
This is true. Ooh, just clips it there with the calves, it seems, as she was going over the bar. That attempt was at 186.
Currently a jump off for the national title.
A jump off.
So if you go back to our results, a few of the athletes missing 186, but keeping it even. So it looks like it's between Zoe Timmers and Eleanor Patterson for the national title. All first jump clearances, but all missing 186. So they'll continue to jump against each other for this national title. The women's 400 hurdles open start list. Ashley Horrobin, Anna Percy, Lauren Wells, Genevieve Cowie, Sarah Klein, Sarah Carley, Mackenzie Keenan, and Jamelia Murphy-Knight. And it looks like no Jamelia Murphy-Knight at the moment. She won the under-24 hurdles earlier this week and went She actually went sub 61 for the first time, went 59.50 in the hurdle semi-final just yesterday, but obviously pulling up a little bit sore and not lining up for this open final. Lauren Wells just need to win.
Yeah, just needs to win. Now, she's had a big program. She's done the flat 4 and the 4 hurdles. So she's coming out here with quite a number of 400s in the legs, but she's definitely the favourite going in. She's been the class athlete for the last 10 years. So this is she's going after a 10th title here. It's a long time to dominate an event. It really is. Obviously, she took over from Jana, who obviously dominated the event for a long time. I remember Lauren racing Jana when she was young.
Yep.
They had a similar sort of look going back then. Both obviously tall brunette athletes. But just the way they run,
Medalists
the way
at
they
junior
attack the
events.
race, and obviously performances.
Little known fact about Lauren Wells, in the top 10 of all-time junior long jumpers.
Wow, there you go. She was a talented junior in the long jump, definitely. She'll go from lane 4 in this one.
Off and running again from the inside, Horribin, Percy, Wells, Cowie, Klein, Carly, Keenan. No Murphy Knight on the outside. Pretty even as they go over that first flight, but as they get into the running, it's Lauren Wells slowly going past Cowie on her outside with Sarah Klein in her sights now. That's Carly and Keenan as well in the outer lanes. But she's about to go past Sarah Klein, and all athletes now behind Lauren Wells as she heads around to hurdle 7. Fighting out for those minor places. Lauren Wells untested over that first 300 metres, and she's got a big lead here. Coming to the home straight, she finished like a rocket in that 400 last night. It's Cowie and Klein and Keenan fighting out for those minor places, but it's Lauren Wells with a big lead. Cowie finishing excellent work. Klein trying to chase her down, but Lauren Wells 56.64. Cowie, Klein, Keenan. And it looks like Percy, Horribin and Carly. But your national champion, and she's going to London, Lauren Wells.
Congratulations, Lauren. 10th title, books the ticket to London. She's happy. Look at her. She's stoked. Puts the fingers up. All 10. There you go. She wasn't really challenged at any point in this race. She dominated from start to finish. She definitely went out a little bit faster in this one than she did in the 400 yesterday. It seemed like she was going out like an iceberg yesterday in the 400. You know, it wasn't that quick, but come storming home to take that medal. But this one, all business out there, led from start to finish, and comes away with a great time, 56.60 officially.
Excellent work there, Genevieve Cowie taking the silver medal, 58.41. I'm going to think that's a PB for Genevieve there. Sarah Klein, 58.68 in third place. Sorry, Mackenzie Keenan from New Zealand, 58.89.
And looks like we're going to go down there to Thames, and she's with our national champion, Lauren Wells.
I am, Lauren. That's hurdle title number 10. Meant a lot to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime I get to win a national title, it's really special, and it makes me a little bit old to think I've won 10, but it's pretty cool to have double figures now and be equal with Debbie Flintoff having the most consecutive wins at 5, so I'll try and go one better and go 6 next year.
Well, I have no doubt you'll break that record next year, but it's been a big program for you. You came off a fantastic finish in the 400 metres last night to get the bronze medal. Did you pull up a little tired? And
look, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I do think I'm Superwoman, and I pack a lot into my life, and it's always very busy. But my coach Matt and I really wanted to challenge, I guess, my fitness and mental ability this championship, and to come away with a medal in the 4 is exciting. It wasn't the race I wanted, but it was the result I wanted, and the other aim was to get the win today here and consolidate the selection for London, so it's great.
Let's talk about the race today. You were more conservative than I've seen you in the past. You were 15-6. That was just because of the conditions?
Yeah, that's right. This season, Matt and I have decided to conserve a bit of energy in the first 200 and try and work the last 200. So I ran 14 strides to a couple of hurdles last year, but this time back to 15s, and I knew from the sprints today about getting some big headwinds home. So it's important as a hurdler to be really conscious of that, and I wanted to make sure it was a smooth, clean race, and I had to adjust my strides going into it, and it worked out.
Okay, and you have booked your ticket to the London World Championships. We see you on the Australian team so many years, year after year. Goal has to be that final.
Oh, it's always the goal. It just seems the standard every year. It just improves. So it's really tough, but I think after Rio, I've just taken a step back and tried to simplify everything. So if I can execute my races, I know the fast times will come, and with that will be a result. So that's all I'm focused on at the moment is the process.
Well, you've started the year off great. Congratulations, Lauren. Well done. 10th national title.
Thanks, guys, and thanks to everyone at home. A lot of my family members couldn't make it, so I hope you're watching, and thanks for all the support. I love you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tamsin. Always good to chat to Lauren. She's one of the most well-liked Australian athletes out there. Definitely has a lot of time for the fans and all the supporters. And there's your results there. Lauren Wells takes it out 56.60. Genevieve Cowie in second, 58.41. And Sarah Klein rounding out the podium, 58.68. Now, it's good to see the rain's stopped. The clouds still look ominous. They're fairly dark and grey, but hopefully the rain stays away. But the temperature is still down. It's a little chilly here. So these athletes are having to deal with some tough conditions. But as we look down, I just had a look down at the runways. They're starting to get some legal winds down here now. Ooh. So the hurdlers would have liked that a little earlier.
That would have been
handy. As you can see out there, we're on the pole vault.
Angus Armstrong, New South Wales state record holder, 5:45. And that's what the bar's at. Oh. Just sighting the bar. Sometimes it is a bit nerve-wracking getting up there.
Was that a bit of a cherry picker?
A little bit of a cherry picker.
And there's your start list for the men's 400-metre hurdles final. From the inside, Angus Proudfoot, Bryce Collins, Ian Dewhurst, Kazaki Yoshida, Keisuke Yonozawa, Lee Bennett, Tasoya Tataneo, and Timothy Throssell.
You always pick the good ones to read out, Dad.
I do. I must admit, I really am not the best on these Japanese athlete names.
Bit of talent in this field.
Last two national champions in this field. So Dewhurst didn't run at the Summer Ass Grand Prix. Has a slight little hamstring niggle. Didn't want to risk anything here for these national champs. He's gone back to Perth, which he's recently moved over to Perth. He's training out at that state, but he's still a proud New South Wales athlete, and he's down there competing for his New South Wales club.
Now the Japanese athletes all class. Yoshida with a 49.45 PB. Tateno 49.49, and Nozawa has a 48.62.
We've also got another junior out there, Timothy Throssell. He won the junior title over the 4 hurdles earlier in the program.
Underway now. Proudfoot, Collins, Dewhurst, Yoshida, Nozawa, Bennett, Tatano, and Throssell. All even at the moment. It looks like Nozawa, he's the classiest athlete in the field, 48.62, and he's working hard down the back straight. He's got Lee Bennett in his sights and Tatano. They're going down the back straight. Dewhurst, watch for him to come home late. His second half of his race is the strongest. There's Danny Samuels in her 5th round attempt. She's already got another couple of 64 metres, but Nozawa with a big lead at the moment. This is where Dewhurst finds his gears. And he's rising just a little bit after Nozawa. He's going to be chasing him down. It's Nozawa in the lead. Dewhurst just hurdling before Bennett. But they enter the home straight. It's Nozawa and Dewhurst. We've seen some Sydney Uni hurdlers go well. Dewhurst coming home hard. He's flying home, hurdling at the same time. And it's Dewhurst with a big lead. He's striding past. And he's going to take out the win. It's big. 49.80. Second fastest.
He's pumped. He's almost tripped over in excitement. Just keep the legs there, Dewey. He goes down.
Alex Rowe a big hug.
Yeah, he's pumped. 49.80. That's a great time. Great time in these conditions. Shows he's in form.
That's his second fastest time ever over this. 49.77. That's a nice drop.
That is a nice little drop. 0.03. It's not often you see it drop that much. 49.77. He'll be absolutely stoked with that. Takes the national title.
He doesn't even look tired.
You could almost say, could he have gone out a little harder? He's come storming home, still got legs in him as he crosses the line.
Still got legs.
So maybe, had he gone out a little harder, could he have run a little faster?
And it looks like Throstle might have got up for bronze there.
And we're going to go down to Tab. So she's down there with our national champion, Ian Dewhurst.
I am. I'm down here with a very excited Ian. What a run. You were very conservative early. You did what Lauren Wells just did in the heat before. Was that the conditions as well? You wanted to make sure you had something left in the tank to come into the headwind?
Yeah, that's right. In the heats the other day, there was quite a strong headwind coming home, so just a bit more conservative at the start to make sure I had some in the tank to get the strides at the end.
Well, you certainly did. You got to about the 4 hurdles to go, so 150 metres, and it just looked like you turbo boosted past at the field.
Yeah, look, it felt really strong coming home, and conditions, although a bit wet, were quite a bit better today, wind-wise. And I haven't had a lot of races this season, so we're sort of starting to get a little bit of strength now, which is really nice.
I think the favourite thing watching was, I think about 30 metres off that last hurdle, you knew that you were going to win it, and you were looking towards the clock, and it was like you were trying not to smile too early.
Yeah, look, it's always pretty special getting a national title, and also to race Nozawa from Japan. I've raced him once before. He's an Olympian. He's run 48.6. I've got 1 win over him, now 2, so it's a good little rivalry, and hopefully he keeps coming out and pushing us.
Well, you look that fantastic. Surely you have to go to Japan somewhere and race him again on his home turf and try and get that World Championship qualifier.
Yeah, look, we'll go away now and sit down with my coach, Marilyn Pearson, and sort of work out a bit of a plan moving forward. Yeah.
Well, fantastic effort. Well done.
Yes.
It was such a great race to watch.
Thank you, sir.
There's your results of the 400-metre hurdles final. Ian Dewhurst takes it out, 49.77. What a time. Kazuki Nozawa, 50.25. Geez, the sun's just come out. It's on our screens. And Lee Bennett, 51.21. But we actually have to go down to Timothy Throstle to find the third Australian. He's going to walk away with a bronze medal, the junior.
Angus just missing out there. Apparently there's a couple of Throssles out there. That's the older of the Throssles.
There you go. Apologies. I've just called the junior brother. Tim won't be happy with me. I tell you what.
He's got a bronze. I'm sure he'll be pretty happy.
He'll be happy. Yeah, he'll be happy with that, but he won't be happy with me mistaking him for his younger brother. So I do apologise, Tim.
All right, bit of pressure here on Curtis Marshall. If he gets this, he wins. But if he misses out, he will go back to equal second. So, bit of pressure on the line there.
Yeah. Obviously down at Summer Ass Grand Prix. Didn't jump, precautionary, pulled out. Wasn't happy with it, but now the pressure is on here. As we can see in the background, some of these athletes are still sliding
it's
down
perfect
this
slide
hill
conditions.
on the beanbags.
It might not be great running conditions, but the slide conditions, perfect.
Perfect.
So Curtis definitely taking his time here. He knows there's a lot on the line.
Just behind Curtis is Andrew, waist biomechanist. He's out there, obviously recording all this data for these athletes. And he's clear.
All class.
It's a big clearance too.
5:45. Remember, there's a lot on the line for him, but he's taken the win there, and that has booked him the ticket to the national champs.
Yep.
National champs. The world champs.
The world champs.
The world champs of nations. So, yeah, it's a national. Nah, I can't work my way out of that one. Start list here for the 3,000 metre steeplechase. Victoria Mitchell, Rosa Flanagan, Stella Radford, Paige Campbell, Charlotte Wilson, Beth Croft, Carly McCabe, Sarah McSweeney, Cassie Higham, Jamie McIver, and on the other side, Shannon McCabe, Cheryl Chan, Kate Gifford, Ruby Turner, Sharon Pedersen, Anessa Corney, and Cassie Deeg.
I noticed again, no Japanese athletes in the start list you had to read out.
No, it's just the way it works, isn't it? How fortunate. I did some Japanese back in years 8, 9, 10, and a little bit of 11. So, you know.
Well, there you go. Should be proficient at this.
Oh,
we need to coordinate this a little bit
it's
better.
just the way it works,
I'm going to have to
unfortunately.
start stealing some of your start lists.
Off and running now, and it's Victoria Mitchell, the class athlete of here. 3-time Olympian over the steeplechase distance.
Now, we're only 300 metres into this, but the field is already strung right out. Unlike some of the other distance races we've had today, fields have been bunched up. No one really wanted to take the lead from the start. But it's not the case in this 3K steeple. Vic Mitchell, she's having none of that. She's like, nope, I want to run fast. I want to take this national title. Catch me if you can. So she's gone out in front. She's got a good 6 to 8 metres lead on the rest of the field.
No Jen Lacars, no Madeline Hills, her teammates in Rio over this steeple distance. So she's taking this opportunity to get this national title. And the winner in that very tense jump off at the women's high jump, Eleanor Patterson.
Of the women's high jump, we've been talking about the conditions being really rough out there for some of the athletes, but no more tough than for you today, Eleanor.
Yeah, it was quite a downpour, that's for sure, halfway through, and I guess you train to be ready for any environment, any weather. So all the girls had to just persist and push through, and really frustrated with the height, but to get the win, I'm really relieved. It was a very, very tough competition.
Obviously, 183 was the finishing height. We know how high you can go. I mean, you've pushed towards the 2 metre mark, but it's probably good to practice in these conditions because London's where the world champs are going to be, and we could get anything.
Yeah, like being from Victoria, we do train in everything, so there's certainly I've trained in that. So it's good to have a competition in that kind of weather, and I am frustrated, but to get the win, I'm relieved. It was intense.
Well, you're in the box seat for that world champs spot, so now you just have to tick the box of getting the qualifying standard. You obviously know that you can do that. Where are you going to head to try and get that standard?
Not sure yet. I didn't really think too much past today. I was just focusing on this as I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. So, yeah, I'll I guess go back to the drawing board with my coach David, and we'll
work it out and then go from there. Well, no doubt you'll get that standard and you'll be on that plane to London, and we'll be cheering from back home.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tamsin. Now we just head back to the track. As we see there, Vic Mitchell, the leader in this 3K steeple. She's got about 30 metres on the rest of the field currently as she comes into this water jump. Just going to give you a quick little update from the field. We've got some shot put results. Damien Birkenhead still in the lead. That's 6 metres 80. He's fouled a couple of others. Still on his... Still got one more attempt. They're in round 6 at the moment. Currently second. Looks like Ryan Ballantyne from New Zealand. 16.51. And then we've got Dean Waterous from Queensland. 16.29. It's close at the top here. Obviously, just shortly behind him is... Actually, I do apologise. Matthew Cowie, 17.11.
Some great putting out there.
Round 1. So he put it out there in round 1, and he's had 3 fouls since then. So It's good. He's in the circle at the moment. See if he can improve on this 17-11.
Just in the background there, you saw Curtis Marshall just unfortunately taking the bar down with him. It's up to 5.75, so that's a PB height there for Curtis.
It makes sense. It makes sense. You've got the qualified already. You have taken the national title.
What's next?
What's that? You might as well go out there and just have a crack.
Yeah, exactly. You're out there. You're feeling probably good. That looks like more Maria Ruanui in the women's long jump. We'll have a long jump update for you. It's still Na Anang in the lead with her 6.50 on her second attempt. And it seemed like the conditions were probably the best in that second round there, with a lot of athletes having their best jump in that round. Talia Clark second place at the moment with 6.18 and Margaret Gain with 6.14.
Kelsey Berriman's jumped up the ladder there. She's had a 6.20 in her fifth
on
round.
Her fifth attempt. But it's Tamsin out there now with the winner of your women's discus, Danny Stevens.
We were just talking to Eleanor Patterson, who said the high jump was really difficult out there. I'm guessing that it was very slippery in the discus circle.
Yeah, it's quite slippery to get your footing. I changed into my my rougher shoes, but they still have like no grip. So yeah, you just have to. It's just the experience of throwing in the wet. You have to slow down in certain places and then accelerate in others. So it's quite different to throwing in the dry. And then, you've got to try and keep your discus dry. So there's a few elements. And I guess because you're out here for, an hour and a half, it's quite tough with, keeping warm, keeping dry, keeping all your towels dry. It's pretty mentally draining. So, but it's nice to get a 65 out in these conditions because, we're going to London and it's most likely going to be like this.
I tell you what, if I was one of your competitors and I knew that you were throwing 65 metres this time of year in these conditions, I'd be quite concerned. You are in ripper shape, aren't you?
Yeah, I can say, I'm in pretty good shape. I think off the back of Rio, everything's been pretty good. Haven't had too many injuries since then. So, yeah, I'm just really enjoying throwing at the moment. And like I said to you the other day, I just really want to see what I can do. So, trying not to let fear hold me back, or fear of fouling, or, fear of failing or anything like that, just get out there and give it a red hot crack. So it's a long event for us, and you can kind of change mindset throughout that hour and a half. So for me, I was focused on resetting and refocusing after every throw and not wasting any throws. Yeah.
Well, you certainly didn't do that. You looked like you had a great quality of throws through all the rounds. There was only a couple of fouls.
The last one was a foul. I went for it. It fouled out the right-hand sector. I think one I stepped out because it didn't really go that far.
Don't want it on record.
No, I know. It went before the line, so I knew it was less than 61. So I already had a 64 under my belt, so I thought, no, we'll leave that.
On that, second place would have loved that throw, but second was Taryn.
Yeah.
Taryn was second, and then Kim Mulhull from Victoria was third. Yep.
Taryn threw a 57 on her last one, so she improved once the rain came down, which is a really good point. And Kim threw 54, I think. Yeah, so it's great to see those girls kind of stepping up and continuing on, because they'd obviously have in their sights Com Games, and maybe even for Taryn, maybe sneaking a World Champs qualifier this year. She was just short last year from the Olympic qualifier, the week out from the closing date. So, Taryn can throw 60 metres, so it's not that big of a jump then to 61.20. So it's great to have the depth in our event, and hopefully we can have 3 girls in it next year on the Gold Coast.
Thanks so much, Danny. It's very exciting seeing you in shape. We're all looking forward to seeing what you're going to produce in London.
Thanks.
Victoria Mitchell there getting the bell. World Championship qualifying 9:42.00, crossing the line at about 8:21. So there's definitely a chance. She's been doing the running all by herself. She's passed a fair few athletes, having to go 3 wide over the water jump, which I've actually never done one water jump by myself, and I'd hate to do it with 2 other people trying to do it at the same time.
No, and she's actually looking pretty good for this. This is going to be close on the line. She's got, 50 seconds to get herself home. She needs to start to move away. She needs to kick now.
Yeah, class athlete. I remember in 2014, she actually took a tumble
42 seconds for the last
in the water jump, fell head first, and actually got back up for a sprint finish to take a New Zealander. Wow. So she's definitely got the ticket to get there. And let's see if we can get her home and see if she can win in this World Championship qualifying time.
Good to see she's safe over that last water jump. As she comes into the straight, she's got 20 seconds to go. She really has to start moving now. 1 steeple left before the finish.
If she wins in a World Championship qualifying time, she's booked her ticket to the World Championships. Might just be shy. I think she might have just looked up to the clock. just going to be only a few short metres away. But she did that work all by herself.
Yes. Gutsy run there. Big run.
And that's Stella Rad from Victoria. Comes in with a seed time of 10.02, and I think she might have gone sub-9 for the first time. And Charlotte Wilson also coming in with a seed time of 10.10 and going 10.03. So some great running there for the silver and bronze medalists.
It's good to see Stella moving on from those junior ages. Actually was on the Continental Cup team that competed in Morocco. She competed for Asia-Pacific. She's done a fantastic job. So it's good to see her out there now. She's moved on. She's got herself an open silver medal.
Yeah, tough running out there. It's probably started to cool down a little bit now. It is getting a bit cold. I know we've got the jackets. We were looking for some leg warmers earlier. But some big running there from Victoria Mitchell to really stamp her authority on that race. And it looks like Tamsin's down there with your winner of that race, Victoria Mitchell.
I am. I'm down here with a very impressive winner. You were so brave from the gun, Vicky. It was tough out there on your own, but you were so close to that World Championship qualifier.
Yeah, I didn't realise until the crowd roared and I looked behind, there was no one, so I thought, oh, it must be the time. But then, yeah, not good enough.
No, well, I don't think it's that you're not good enough. You just probably need a little bit more competition or someone to help you around that 3,000 metres. It's a long way to push it all on your own. How do you stay mentally strong when you are doing it like that? It's basically a time trial.
Yeah, basically I'm thinking about knocking off the next jump and then next jump, trying to stay on. But you're right, you get a little complacent when there's no one around. It's hard to keep pushing 100% the whole time.
Your training's obviously been going really well since Rio. So close to the time. Where will you head to get it?
Yeah, so I'll go overseas now. I'll probably base in Germany like I've done the last couple of years in Cologne, and then do a few races that I've done before and have got me the time.
Brilliant. And then we'll see you on that plane to London and we'll be cheering you at the World Champs.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, Tam.
Great job, Vicky. Well done.
Thanks for that, Tamsin. Yeah, what a gutsy run. Led from start to finish. Agonisingly close to that qualifier. I'm sure she would have liked to have locked that one away before she heads over to Europe. But I'm sure she'll be able to find herself some great races over there. Now we've got an update for you from the shot put. Looks like Damien Birkenhead has taken it out 19 metres 80. In second. It's a New South Wales athlete, Aidan Harvey. He's done it on the last round, 17-16 on the last round to take it. The silver medal from Matthew Cowie from WA. He'll take the bronze, 17-11. So they're your top three. Great competition there. Some big throws. Three athletes, three of the top 8 athletes putting out their best round throws on that last and final attempt.
Well, very close attempt there for Curtis Marshall. He's definitely got the first half over. You might see just clapping behind, that's Tatiana Grigorieva.
Yes.
Getting inducted tonight into the Athletics Australia Hall of Fame.
She is.
Silver medalist from 2000 Olympics. I was there that night as well. That was the same night as Kathy Freeman. It was a big night for athletics in Australia that night.
Massive night. Massive night.
I do have my Sydney 2000 socks on.
Yeah, you were telling me about these earlier. They're freshies out of the packet from 1998.
1998. I was in Taree only a week ago. The Salvation Army in Taree packet there, $5.
What a bargain.
So one is green, one is gold. They are a bit loose-fitting at the moment. I think they are... There's not much elastic in there. I don't think they last. They're from 1998. There was a competition on there when they opened the pack that said win a trip to Bali. So I might be a little bit outside the closing period, but I will still try and ride in.
It's interesting how elastic loses its elasticity over time like that.
And no one had worn them. I hope no one had worn them.
Yeah, you would think that maybe if they're in a packet, they're fresh, no one's worn them, it might still have a little bit something left.
Nothing. On the runway now, Natanang. 6:50 in her second round. And that's big too.
Looks like now she's just sat back on it. She fell back as she went. And as you can see there, that's probably only, maybe only just over the 6 or just under high 590s.
Oh, I reckon it's about 6:15.
6:15, you're calling it.
It's a funny angle.
Okay. And there's your results from the women's 3,000 metre steeple open. Vic Mitchell taking it 9:41.09. Stella Radford with a silver, 9:56.47. And rounding out the podium, Charlotte Wilson from Victoria, 10:03.85.
6:18 for that long jump.
6:18.
What a turn up.
I stand corrected.
Now Tamsin's currently over at the pole vault with your winner, Curtis Marshall.
I am. I'm here with Curtis, who's had a great competition. He's probably a little disappointed that he didn't clear the 575, but went from 545 up to 575. That's a big jump.
It was, yeah. I took the competition win with 545 and my PB's 70. And it was a good tailwind, good conditions. Everyone was out here, so I was like, let's just give 75 a crack. That would have been awesome. But yeah, just missed it.
Happy with the attempts at 575?
Pretty happy, yeah. That last attempt, I almost went clear. I just scraped it off with my chest or something. But yeah, good attempts. Happy.
So your confidence must be pretty sky high heading into the World Championships. You've booked your ticket by winning that national title. You've got the qualifying standard.
Yeah, everything's ticking along nicely. I would have loved the PB then. PB going along with national. You know, that's second national title in a row and got my plane ticket to London, so pretty happy.
I think you should be pretty happy. Why don't we save the PB to London World Champs? What are the goals? Finals?
Yeah, let's do that, Tamsin. Yeah, hopefully get into the final. It'll probably take a jump of about 70 to 75, so saving it till then, yeah.
Love it. Very excited. Well done on the national title.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Curtis is a future star. Maybe you can follow in the footsteps of we've got a big history of pole vault. Dmitry Markov and Steve Hooker, Paul Burgess as well out there. But up next will be the women's 4x1 opens. We've seen all the other ages. Now the opens get their shot. And this is something that hasn't been around at the national champs for quite some time.
No, it hasn't. I believe, I'm pretty confident here, 2004 was the last time we had open relays at a national championship.
Okay.
I was actually in it. So I was part of the WA team. I'm calling that no national relay champs have been official since then. And we are the defending 4x400 metre champions.
You guys took it
West
out?
Australia, yeah.
Who was in the team?
Myself.
Stephen Tucker?
No, Tucker was in the 4x1 where we took the bronze.
Oh, so you're in the 4x4?
In the 4x4.
Oh, makes sense.
Chris Trude, myself.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
I believe the other ones, I'm going back now, I'd have to put out there maybe Chris de Boer, possibly Dane Richter.
Okay. That's a handy team.
It wasn't about, it was a good team. That's why we took the gold.
Call these athletes out here. South Australia with Lauren Edwards, Tiara Hatchard, Taylor Phillis and Christine Gain. Queensland, Summer Johnson, Jacinta Beecher, Lauren O'Sullivan and Toya Whistle. New South Wales, Larissa Pasternatsky, Taveline Singh, Gabriella O'Grady, Jasmine Everett. For Tasmania, Kiara Chambers, Samantha Lind, Kaisha Hill and Morgan Gaffney. WA, Emily Dixon, Julia Phillips, Sophie White and Eliza Wilson. And for Victoria, Sophie Taylor, Kendra Hubbard, Brittany Burkett and Maddie Coates. Now, this are some good teams.
They are some good teams. It's great to see that these open athletes have stuck around and they're serious about this.
Well, it was part of my job to sort of organise a lot of these Queensland teams, and while streaming, a little bit difficult to do, especially after those 200s. I can't be in two places at once.
I can imagine.
So I think we've got our full quota of athletes out there. I do see Queensland out there, so they've obviously turned up with a team. They've let them out there on the track. Fingers crossed they get the baton around, but with Toya Whistle at the end, anything could happen.
But you look at the Vic team, Coates, Burkett, Hubbard, Taylor.
Well,
that's not bad.
And New South Wales is a good team as well.
Yeah.
So they are away. That's Johnson for New South Wales. Pasternatsky just got a bronze in the 200, and they're out and underway in this first of our relays this weekend. Clean changes now. It's Taveline Singh and Jacinta Beecher running down the back straight for New South Wales and Queensland. It's going to be difficult to call because they all don't have the same uniforms on.
It does make it hard, doesn't it?
Like our championships. That's Queensland there on the inside. And if they get a clean change around, actually that's the New South Wales team. Toya Whistle going to have to do a big chase down here. This could be interesting. Whistle with a lot of work to do, but she could do it. Toya Whistle charging down. That's Jasmine Everett. Oh, New South Wales just holding on there. 46.10. That's very handy time there.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Toya Whistle, what a last leg. Comes storming over the top of the West Australian team. Obviously, we're just next to the West Australian team, as you all probably know. And they were up out of their cheers, trying to will their athlete home, but Toya Whistle too strong.
A
She'll
young
take
team
the silver
from there
medal.
too. Sophie White, the youngster who went sub 12 in the under 16.
She
Very
did,
handy.
yes.
And awesome hurdler as well. Now we'll see who shows up for the men's race. I know a lot of the boys were doing the 200, and I don't know if they're going to back up again for this relay. We'll see. We put it in. I don't know if they'll turn up.
We'll see how it goes. I think there was some few changeover issues with the Victorian team, because obviously on paper that's a fantastic team, but obviously had a couple of issues getting that baton around. It's not often that these guys and girls would get a chance to practice the relay changes. Obviously it's not like the juniors where they grow up doing all the relays together, so as they get older they strengthen on their changes. These athletes, probably first timers, changing the baton with each other.
It is difficult to get it all together. I know probably the main reason of the, I'm not sure if you heard the Queensland Relay Academy, to just get skills with these athletes. So you get the skills in the athletes before they get fast. It's no point getting a 10-2 runner who's never changed a baton.
Exactly.
Get a 10-6 runner, change a baton, comes a 10-2 runner, already knows how to do it.
I agree. Great initiative there by Queensland Athletics.
But
who are the masterminds behind that one?
Unsure.
Unsure?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I have to say it, myself and Tom Gamble.
There you go.
We did get it together.
Don't be modest. You've
Currently
done a
have
fantastic job with that.
75% of the national team, Trey to Gamble to Hartman. Some good talent, but I really hope the boys show up. Otherwise, all that work's been for nothing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But they've committed to it. I don't see why they wouldn't show up. We're going to throw it out to Tams. She's down there with the New South Wales team.
I'm down here with some very excited young ladies, and it's awesome to see because they've brought the relays back onto the program, and so you guys are the best advocates for saying that it should stay.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is my first year for juniors to open, so I'm always used to doing like a relay, and it's the best part of the meet. I mean, athletics is an individual sport. I just got to run it with my, training partner, Larissa, Tab. Like, we're all such great mates, so like we're just over the moon. Yeah.
Now, Larissa, you've backed up from a fantastic 200 metres. What an awesome day.
Thank you. I'm stoked, but it's really nice to share it with a group of girls, teammates. Jazz and I haven't run together since about 2008, and that's everything to us because we've had a lot of years out of the sport, just injury. So it's nice to be back in team effort.
And were you nervous? Could you hear Toya chasing you down?
I said to her, I was like, please don't go past me. And then as we took off, I was like, I don't know where she is, but I can hear her, and I'm just going to go.
With her, I think I ran like 300 metres then. It was awesome. And we won that for our beautiful teammate Abby, who took a fall in the hurdles, and we all just pulled it together. So that one's for her.
And your baton change, did you get much practice before you came in?
Few, and we were a bit nervous because some of them weren't quite right, but we got there in the end, and that's all that matters is in the final, so it was really good.
Nailed it, guys. Gold medal. Well done. Enjoy.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tams. As you see there, a couple of retro, or I wouldn't call it retro, but still older New South Wales uniforms. So it's good to see the Opens back out there.
Yeah, no, they're using their old kits. Good to see no Queensland team currently out there for the Open men's. Unfortunately, all probably a bit too tired from going so well in that 200-metre final.
I'm sorry, but we did just get off speaking about the Queensland Relay Project, and the Queensland Relay Project is a no-show.
What's happening?
You've got a lot of Australian members there.
It makes it hard when
on paper,
it's ridiculous.
You can't beat that team.
No, they need to show up though. That's the problem.
But look who's out there. The ACT.
Oh, of course.
The ACT. Actually,
aren't you supposed to be out there soon?
I was supposed to be out there. Quickly, there's your shot put results. Damien Birkenhead, 19 metres 80. Aidan Harvey, 17.16 to take the silver. And round out the podium, Matthew Cowie from WA, 17.11.
Aidan Harvey is only young. He could almost be eligible for the next World Juniors.
Wow.
So, it's great silver to
great
Birkenhead.
effort there. But yeah, going back to these relays, I've been looking forward to these relays for a long time now. As soon as I knew they were at Nationals, I penciled it in for myself. But unfortunately, I injured myself just last Saturday, so I can't be out there with this relay team. There's your high jump results.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, take it off. They did jump off, so it's weird.
We'll have to just adjust that one, because obviously there was a jump off, so we'll have to make sure we get those correct results up, but we'll bring them to you shortly. And yeah, as I was saying, 4x4 team, the team that we've actually got out there, and if I was included, I would have been the youngest member of the team at the age of 31.
Oof.
The youngest member of the... I felt young
some
again.
Masters records
There's
out
Adam Farlow. He's actually the Australian Masters record holder over 2 and 4.
He certainly is, that 30 to 34-year-old age group. There's your start list. WA, ACT, and on the outside, Vic and New South Wales. Unfortunately, no Queensland. The team we would have had down, Trey Williams out of the blocks, Tom Gamble down the back straight, to Hartman, to Simon Gregg. They're not there, obviously, so, you know... We just did a favour to the other teams.
Lots of things look good on paper.
They look great on paper.
Unless they get out there on the track, it's obviously no use at all.
Yeah.
There's Terrell McKenzie.
What a shame.
He's a one-turn hurdler from Western Australia. Also part of the Squeak Scolari
How'd he go this
fantasy
year?
basketball. He actually did all right. He lost to Jeremy Andrews in the semi-final. Shouldn't have lost.
Good to see a lot of these teams now with matching uniforms.
Yeah,
it does make life easy for us. I know the ACT boys all got their kit on.
They do. They do. They look great out there.
And I think a lot of the New South Wales boys do have the kits on as well, so that makes it handy.
And Victoria. So, WA, well, at least...
So your athletes for WA be Terrell McKenzie, Aaron Breslin, Jeremy Andrews, Karen Borowski, ACT, Adam Farlow, Matt Walters, Angus Proudfoot, and Jonathan Stefaniak. Victoria, Michael James, Michael Hansford, Nathan Riali, Christopher Matrevsky, and New South Wales, Jordan Shelley, Nick Andrews, Zach Holdsworth, Will Roberts. It's a handy team.
It is. It is, isn't
They're all
it?
youngsters. The oldest is 20. So,
well, they're
I
out
think they
there
might
against
I'm thinking
the veterans.
I reckon we'll see a sub 40 if they get the buttons
Have
right.
we got the oldest and youngest teams out there?
Oh, definitely. Off and running now. That's New South Wales, the under-20 champion. Jordan Shelley starting off for New South Wales. And if he can get a clean change to Nick Andrews, who was equal third but fourth back on a times. Nick Andrews going down the back straight, but Breslin, who was second. Holdsworth having to slow down, and that's going to cause an issue there for Riali coming around him. This will be a great finish here. It's going to be Will Roberts versus Matrevsky. Matrevsky won the long jump. Will Roberts, he won the under-20 200. And coming home fast as well, Karen Borowski. But it's Matrevsky taking it out, 40-58. Victoria taking out the sprint 4x1.
Now, I don't know if this is bad of me to say, but I'm actually looking around to all the changes to see if they were clear. Because if there wasn't one that was clear, the ACT may have jagged a bronze medal, but it looks like they are all clear. So obviously the first three teams will be very happy with that. But great run there by Victoria.
Yeah, getting the back around clean.
Shirts off.
Shirts off. Is that legal?
I don't know. He's seen the sun, gets the shirt off straight away. Jeez.
The Victorians, when they see the bit of sun like this, it's not often they would get to see the sunshine. I'm sure he might be getting in trouble by the officials. I know I have seen that the officials don't like it when you take the shirt off.
No, I think there is actually a ruling that you must keep your shirt on. Because it used to be a thing where a lot of the sprinters, especially the American sprinters, after they had finished their heat, they would pull down the bodysuit. They're not allowed to do it anymore.
No. Well, it looks like Matrevsky might be on the stream now with his shirt off.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll regret that decision.
Is that a disqualification as the ACT comes through with a bronze medal?
Yeah, definitely. I'll call it.
Is that possible? Maybe I'll put in a protest.
You better hurry up.
Yeah, I know.
Get the $50
I've got 30
out.
minutes, don't I?
Yeah, true. We'll be done by the stream in 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Well, but once they hand the medals out, it's too late.
Ooh, I better get onto it.
It's all right. We'll take it those 4x4s. We'll give you a chance.
Victoria disqualified for taking the shirt off.
After the race.
Imagine that. No, sorry, Victoria. Obviously, nothing against you, but obviously I have a little bit of sentimental.
Good to see three teams there under the 41-second barrier. 40.56, 40.82 and 40.95. Your first three times in that men's open 4x100 metres. Oh, Chris Matrevsky putting a jacket on. Nervous.
It's got a Matty B depth. Thanks, Matty
He
B depth,
certainly
for
does.
providing the jacket.
So, Tamsin, you've got your winners there in the men's 4x1.
I do. Let's just say Athletics Victoria may need to invest in a few more tops because the 4x4 guys needed the tops and they're about to come out. But, guys, great effort. Awesome changes. Gold medal.
Thank you. Yeah, good stuff.
Can always rely on the Vics to give good interviews. You've just got off the long jump gold straight into the relay team. It's awesome to see our guys coming out and competing in the relay.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful run by the teammates, and I think the easy part of just finishing it off. I was already in the lead, so beautiful.
They did give you a nice lead. The changes were quite good, don't you think?
Yeah, we obviously do this a lot, so we do well.
I'm like picking that there's some sarcasm.
By practice a lot, we mean we practiced today. Once. Just 15 minutes ago, so.
Well, you couldn't tell. It was beautiful. Well-oiled machine. The Vics know how to do it. Well done, guys.
Hashtag Vics do it better.
Painful.
Yeah.
Hard to listen to.
Actually, I take my apology back to the Victorians. Hashtag Victorians do it better. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. Not so sure.
But they turned up.
They did. They did.
You can't complain about it.
Exactly.
They turned up.
So,
at least you're in for a shot.
Yeah, we were there. We were out there. We put a team out there and we looked great.
Now, up next will be the girls 4x4. Looks like some pretty strong teams out here. New South Wales sending out a strong team, as well as Victoria. And then we'll wait and see. Adam Farlow is going to go back around again in the men's 4x4.
He is. He is.
Jonathan Stefaniak, he'll be back out there again as well.
And so is Matty Walters.
Oh, well. Why couldn't Philo do a 100?
No. Didn't want to do that to him. It's bad enough bringing him down to the 4, so we won't make him do a 1 as well.
So as these 4x4 athletes get ready, there's 2 more races left in the program. We'll leave you for a break, come back and watch the last 2 races here at the 2017 Australian Athletics Championships.
Saw a father bashing his own son.
And all the parents were arguing with each other.
It was really stressful and it made me just not feel good at all.
I stopped because I was being yelled at and it just wasn't any fun anymore.
If they've got to yell out, they could say like something encouraging, like good job or good pass.
You're doing great. You're good. Just keep trying and you'll get there.
Just let kids be kids.
Welcome back to the final moments here of the 2017 Australian Athletics Championships. Only 2 more races left. Out on the track, the women's 4x4 and the men's 4x4. And again, it looks like we may be missing the team from Queensland? Yes, we are.
Oh, Maddie. See, this is what happens. We're going to have chats to Leanne.
No, Leanne has been working hard.
She has been fantastic, but I don't know, maybe she's going to have to do something about these opens.
Yeah, but while we're there, Tamsin is down there with the winner of the shot put, Damien Birkenhead.
I'm here with Damien Birkenhead, who 1980. I've heard that you're not happy, but you've ticked some boxes today.
Yeah, I'm not really happy with the distance, but it's such a great day. I'm just really happy to be here and to get another national title. I'm just excited.
Just another one. I love it. You're a star, Damien. You've got the World Champs qualifier. You've won the national title. So now you're heading to London. What are the goals for the World Championships?
Well, obviously, to get a PB and do better than I did in Rio, which is always the goal to improve. So I'll just hopefully get over there, prepare the best I can, and hopefully top 8 or PB and a medal. We'll see where we go.
Well, you were fantastic in Rio. We obviously were watching, cheering you on. I think that looking at the other guys, it's a pretty tough event, the men's shot put on the world stage. But you've got all the attributes to get onto that podium. Do you think that we could see it in London, or is that too soon to ask? Should we be looking more for Tokyo?
Sure, we'll say we'll go for a medal. Always going for a medal, and yeah, shot put at the moment is just insane. You know, the world record could go in any moment, and yeah, to be able to think about medal is just amazing. So we'll see.
Well, we'll be cheering for you, Damien. Great effort today. Well done.
Be nice to see that world record could go at any moment. In the men's shot put, the Australian record could go at any moment.
Yeah, I do love watching the shot put. There's a couple of places in and around Europe that have street shot put competitions. It's fantastic. They set up the shot put circle in the streets, and honestly, the crowds that they draw are absolutely amazing, because it's one of those things where it's not often you get to be that close to someone throwing 7.26 kilos that far.
It's like a cannonball almost.
Yeah.
The 16-pounder. Well, let's go through your start list now for the women's 4x4. From lane 3, WA, Adele Smith, Kobe Nichols, Kiara Dingus, and Lindsay Pekin. From New South Wales, Carly Thomas, Olivia Toro, Bethany Halmy, and Benderi Aboya. From Victoria, Emily Lawson, Jemima Russell, Ashley Horrobin, and Sarah Billings. And from Tasmania, Nicole Perry, Samantha Lind, Amy Petter, and Courtney Stanley. And Tamsin's down there with the winner of the long jump, Na Anang.
I am. And what an excited winner. Look at that smile. I love seeing you smile. 6 metres 50 was your best jump?
Yeah, it was quite happy considering it was raining and then it got cold and then the wind was everywhere. So just take what you can get, really.
We were talking about that earlier in the day, the fact that the winds were so erratic. Like, they were going from 5 metres to 2 metres. Did that just mess up with your run-up?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It just throws you out completely. Like, you get it and you're like, this will be fine. Wind, just be consistent so I can jump well. But you can't control the weather, so you just do your best.
But you've got the gold medal, national champion. You must be stoked.
Oh, my first Open national medal, so can't be any happier, really.
And Goal, will you head overseas to try and get that qualifier for the World Champs, or just focus on a home Commonwealth Games?
Not sure yet. I think I'll probably go to Cairns or somewhere a bit closer and see what I can do, and then, yeah, focus on Com Games, really.
Well, you're coached by the great man, Gary Bourne, so just listen to him and you'll be fine.
Exactly. Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure Gary knows his way around long jump pit, and I'm sure he's got some plans for Na in the future to see if she can get that qualifier. I've heard from Robbie Crowther himself say the pit and the runway up in Cairns is lightning fast. So that might be the place to get that 6.75. Two more races left on the program. The men's open and the women's open 4x400 metres. 4 teams in this. WA, New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania. They are off and running the first athletes. Adele Smith for WA, Carly Thomas, New South Wales, Emily Lawson for Victoria and Nicole Perry for Tasmania. Pretty even at the moment as they get down that back straight. New South Wales has the silver medalist from the women's open 400 metres, Olivia Toro, running second.
Yeah, it's a handy little team from New South Wales.
Carly Thomas, she won the under-18 800 metres earlier this week to secure her spot at the front of the list for the Bahamas
and then
Commonwealth Youth Games.
Handing it over to the 400 metre silver medalist. That sets them right up. And as you can see here, New South Wales have got a great lead. They've made up all the staggers on all the teams, and they're going to hand over to a silver medalist. So Toro's probably going to put him in a commanding position after this leg. It'll be tough for the other athletes to keep up.
And that Toro will hand it off to Bethany Halmy, who will then go to Benderi Aboye, who we saw run 53 flat. So actually, even though we've got the silver medalist in this team from the Opens, Benderi is actually the fastest in that team on season bests.
Yeah, but obviously we can't count out Victoria, because obviously on this leg they've got Jemima Russell, great junior coming through. She's putting it to Toro at the moment.
Yeah, Toro not going out in her normal fashion at 100 miles an hour, just controlling the race, but seems to be winding it up there, which let Russell come back, but we'll see who's got the strength into this home straight.
And as you can see there, Olivia Toro starts to move away. She's building that lead. It's up around the 10-metre mark now. She's going to hand over to the next athlete.
It'll be tough now. Ashley Horrobin, she did run the 400 hurdles final already today.
Yeah, so she'll have a 400 inner legs. It'll be interesting to see how Bethany Halmy can hold off Horrobin in this one.
And it's a bit of a battle here for bronze between Tasmania, Amy Petter, and WA's Kiara Redingus, just running really wide there around the first bend.
Yeah, Redingus is actually a heptathlete. She took a medal earlier this week in the women's hep, so she's made up a lot of ground on Horrobin from Victoria. She's put Western Australia in a great position to take a medal.
Yeah, maybe that 400 hurdles is still heavy in those legs, but Bethany Halmy from New South Wales, she'll have a good lead into the straight, a good 15 metres back to Victoria. Redingus still trying to chase her down, but Halmy she'll hand off to the phenom from New South Wales, Benderi Aboye, and we'll see just what she can provide here. So on these last legs, it's Aboye for New South Wales, Billings for Victoria, Pekin and Courtney Stanley.
Obviously, Pekin is a 4x4 veteran. She's been around for a long time. She's competed for Australia. She's been to the World Race. She's part of that relay team that qualified for the Olympics.
That's certainly right. Sarah Billings, she's world junior representative in the 4x4 and the 8. Won the under-20 800 as well.
But it's still Aboye out in front. Got a massive lead of about 30 metres, and she's going to come into the straight in the lead for New South Wales. But it looks like the battle's on for second here between Pekin and Billings. It's going to be a sprint finish between these two. Aboye's going to run away for this one. I don't think they're going to challenge Aboye.
It's very tight here between Billings and Pekin. Pekin might have gone just a little bit too early. So Sarah Billings will take it out just from Victoria. WA finishing there in third, and finishing out Courtney Stanley from Tasmania.
Now, we've just got the start list for the men's 4x4 in front of us, and you would not believe. Guess who's in this New South Wales team? Don't look at it, just guess.
Oh, I've already looked at it.
Oh, there you go.
So, not just there, but...
You know who I'm talking about, though.
How many 400s would this be now? Could this be... This is number 8.
8.
Number
Gunn
8.
Back out here to run another 400.
And Tams is down trackside with the winners of the race. Another New South Wales team, the women's 4x4.
Now, I was very excited about this race. There's a few ladies in this race I was looking forward to seeing. Now, you led off and you gave them a good lead. You must have been happy. You set everyone knew that they were going to win after you passed the baton, because we have Olivia Toro and then Superstar.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't really that confident with the start because I'm more of an 800-metre runner, but I just thought give it my best, have a hard start, and that's what I went for.
They started the 800 runner. That's an interesting tactic, but 800 runners are very tough. Passed off to Liv, who's coming off her silver medal from last night. How were the legs?
The legs are feeling good at the moment. I think the last night, the interview, I was a bit too puffed out, but I feel good at the moment. I can talk normal now.
Hey, it's okay. I had to interview Steve Solomon. He was on the ground throwing water over himself, so you guys did all right.
Thanks so much. Yeah, the girls are really good, and we got a good lead in the end there, so it was good to try and hold on to that and keep it for New South Wales.
And your changes were quite good.
Yeah, we had a bit of a practice beforehand, so yeah, it worked out smoothly, which was good to see. Yeah.
Well, and you held the lead that Olivia gave to you, and you knew that you were going to be passing the baton off to Bandera, so you're pretty confident that you were going to win?
I was pretty nervous having the lead because I kind of expected to hold it, but I'm glad I got there, and yeah, it's good adrenaline starting off out front. So
now I've been looking forward to interviewing you, Bandera. I've heard a lot about you. You won the New South Wales Open State Championships, and then you had a great race earlier in the week with Ella Connolly, 53.03. Happy with that run?
I'm happy with it, but I'm happy knowing it. I could do a 52, so I wasn't that unhappy with the time. So next time, I'm hoping to get that 52. So
you've got the Commonwealth Youth Games. Maybe you could do it there.
Maybe I can, but I've got to humble myself. Maybe I could get the 52. Maybe something more.
Wow, well, you're only 15, is that right? I'm 16. Oh, you're 16. Oh, you're old, over the hill. Awesome to watch you run. You're a beautiful runner. Ladies, well done. Job done. 4x4 Open National Championships.
This report just in, there is a Queensland team in this 4x4.
It's good to see. But I will point out, what uniform are they wearing? Oh, not the Queensland uniform.
Hey.
What uniform is the ACT wearing? Oh, the ACT uniform. There you go.
Unfortunately, all the other teams are wearing their state uniform except for Queensland. What a shame.
What a shame.
Well, hey, they know. Just hand it off to the guy who isn't wearing a uniform. Makes it easy.
It does, but I don't know. Hey, you've been a team manager on this team. I think
we're not team managing the Opens.
No, but I don't know. I think you could strongly encourage next time.
I strongly encourage the 4x1 guys to run as well. That didn't work.
Maybe you just don't have the pull and the power over the Opens.
I just need to be around. I need to be there.
I think so.
Out of sight, out of mind, unfortunately.
But we would be disappointed to not have you up here on a live stream. So I prefer you up here. I'm happy to sacrifice the Queensland team down there to have you up here.
Yeah, well, it's not me not running, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We are missing a couple of 400 runners that could be out there that are currently around the area of the live stream. Maybe we could...
Yeah, that... That is interesting you say that, because it's one of those things where you would think that maybe it's the job of some of the better athletes.
Yeah, the senior athletes
to step up and encourage the younger ones and the inexperienced ones to actually be a part of it. Now, we have been joined by Alex Beck. Now, Alex, I'm sorry, but it's good to have you here, but I'm a little disappointed that you're not down there. What's going on?
Benny, look, it's a really good opportunity for some of the young boys to get out there and give it a go.
Alex.
I know a couple of these guys were in that heat and semi and final of that 400 earlier. Just yourself.
Alex, I've seen you run 100 before. I've seen you in some reps. You can run fast enough. Why weren't you down there in the 4x1?
You could have just run a full 400. Just swap hands every 100 metres.
Oh, look, boys, I think I've been brought on here to cop a bit of a roasting, I think. It's really nice to sit up here and actually watch the other guys get out there and do some of the hard work instead.
No. Don't dodge the question. Don't dodge the question.
Well. This is a current affair.
Come back. Why did you not run the 4x1?
Oh, the 4x1?
The 4x1. I wasn't expecting that one.
Well, there wasn't a team out there.
That's true.
So, therefore, if some athletes can't do it, you go down to the other ones. You go down to the next. You find replacements. Alex Beck would have been a fantastic replacement.
I'm pretty sure I'm actually looking down. It looks like Zach Holdsworth from New South Wales, who just ran the 4x1, is doing the 4x4 as well. And I can't say I've ever seen him do a 400 before. So, just the thing that they do for their state. They've got pride in their state.
Exactly. 3 members of the 4x1 for the ACT team are back out there to run the 4x4. That's honestly, the commitment to your state or territory is absolutely fantastic, which is why I'm still a little disappointed in you, Alex Beck.
Let's go through the team list here. For
Bronze
New South
medalist
Wales,
from the 400 metres.
Tyler Gunn, Joshua Ralph. Well, apparently Josh Ralph is out there. Matt Wood and Jack Collette. Don't think Jack Colette's out. Well, I don't think Jack Colette's out there.
But what did Josh Ralph do? He ran an 800.
He
Now
did.
he is running a 400. That's a great effort and commitment to the state.
Sorry, Alex, for this. ACT, Adam Farlow, Matt Walters, Philo Saunders, Jonathan Stefaniak. I think Philo's done something else today as well.
A 1500 final.
Oh, that's interesting. Murray Goodwin, Daniel Moen, Taylor Burns, and Jamari Sanderson-Malera for Queensland. For Victoria, Conrad Kumaros, Harrison Rubin, Matthew Napier, Liam Procaccino, and South Australia, Liam Moss, Louis Falland, Brett Fisk, and Dylan Stenson. Now, we'll get into the seriousness here, Alex.
We better.
All right, you get some 400 runners together. They don't mind a bit of a chat, but talk us through what would be your... Obviously, each leg has something a little bit different to it. Did you find yourself as a specialist to any of the legs?
Look, myself, I really like the second leg, the first part in lanes and then the crossover. Really good opportunity to see where you are in the race and really sort of try to control the tempo a little bit. But yeah, first is really a specialist leg as well, and I had the opportunity to run a couple of times internationally at first leg. But look, in all honesty, it's really exciting. That's the good thing about the 4x4s. Every leg is different, and it really requires a lot of thought. You really have to see where you are in the race and really go out there and do your best the whole way around.
Yeah, that first leg it does. Unless you're in lane one, it is a little bit off-putting about where your marks are. If you're someone who does control your race from the markings on the track, if you're anyone, you could be out in lane 9. You're almost running another 30 metres past the finish line just to pass the baton.
Absolutely, and mentally it's quite hard as well. You know, having to run past the finish line is something that we're not really used to, and being able to push past that extra 10, 20 metres to your next runner is really quite difficult.
Because you might enter the home straight and think, oh man, I'm feeling good.
100%.
But you've actually run 30 metres less.
That's it. It's really quite different, and one of the exciting things about the 4x4, you don't really get to see that often.
Now running in his first leg, Tyler Gunn for New South Wales, Adam Farlow, ACT, Murray Goodwin, Queensland, Conrad Kumaros for Victoria, and Liam Moss for South Australia. Now, Tyler Gunn, he might be a little bit tired. This is his 8th 400, so he's now won a day.
Absolutely very impressive from the youngster. 8 400s. I've done 5 in a row, and that was impossible. So for him to do 8 is very impressive, and he's putting up a really good fight here now.
Honestly, I think he'll probably hand the baton over in first. He's a talented athlete. Heat semi-final for the under-20s, and then their under-20 4x4. Heat semi-final of the Opens, and now the 4x4 Opens, and he's running really, really well. He's probably up in first place at the moment. Murray Goodwin finding something a little bit extra, but it'll be New South Wales who changed the baton in first place, and that looks like Josh Ralph, another very handy 400-metre runner. Good to see them New South Wales boys in the full kit.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. It's always good to see the athletes out there, and Joshy Ralph especially. It's good to see he's changed over to the New South Wales uniform. But this is going to be an interesting leg between Ralph and Moen. Both athletes want to take that inside into this bend. Looks like Ralph is going to take the lead. Moen's going to have to stick in behind him.
Yeah, tough call there from Moen to try and pass on the bend. He maybe should have tucked in a little bit earlier to stop himself from having to slow up.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get the speed back once you do drop it like that. Ralph, the 800-metre specialist, he'll be good down the lines.
Oh, Moen
Here comes
finding
Moen.
a bit of gear here. He's going to pass it to training partner Taylor Burns, and we'll see what Zach Holdsworth has over a 400 metres. And Taylor Burns not doing a hand swap. He's going right. Oh, they went right to right. That's a very interesting way to do it.
Yeah, usually you'll take in your left, switch to your right, and then off you go, because obviously you want to watch the incoming runner come in. You turn, you run, you turn back, grab the baton, and off you go.
Now, Zach Holdsworth is not doing a bad job at the moment.
He's stuck in here. Might be in a really good position for this last leg for Jack Collette.
Well, they've got the silver medalist from the Open 400 metres, the first-time sub-47 runner. And Jamari also going Bashawn Jackson style, facing his teammates as they come in. Oh, he's made Jack. Oh, he's turned around. They're switching it up in there, guys. No one knows what's doing. It's a mystery. Queensland taking the baton in the lead. Jack Collette, interesting little change over there. And the Victorians have their last run out there, Liam Procaccino. We'll see what happens. This could be a big run for Jack Collette to take him down.
Really interesting position here. What does Jack do? Does he try to put a foot down and close the gap, or sit where he is and try to kick home?
I think he has to get up the back of the Queensland athlete. He really does. He has to get up there and obviously tuck in behind, keep behind him for the bend, but the gap was large when he took the baton, so it's going to be a tough ask for him.
And it's really hard being in no man's land, but look at him come now off the bend, doing really well to close that gap.
Sanderson Malera here might have held something a little bit back here, but it looks like Queensland will take out the final event of the championships. Don't slow up too much there, Jamari. 13, 12, 20. Great running from the boys. Excellent work. Victoria finishing in third. South Australia and the already had run ACT team. Well done to the boys.
Yeah.
And that is the final event on the program. We'll say goodbye to Alex Beck. Thank you for joining us. You copped a little bit there, just a little bit.
Hey, thanks for having me, boys. Always happy to cop a little bit. But how good is it to see the 4x4 finish the national championships?
What a way. It's traditional. Great. I don't know what they do at the World Champs. They put the 4x1 last.
Yeah, it used to always be the 4x4. But it is one of those things, though. I actually didn't mind them switching it.
You get to have a bit of...
You get to have a little bit of fun at the end of it, because usually you're the very last event, and you have to be good all the way up through to that. But now, the last couple of majors, they've had it with a few days to go, so then you have a few days to sort of just relax and chill out a little bit. But nonetheless, it's still great to finish with the 4x4s. We're going to cut down to Tams, and she's down there with the Queensland team.
I'm down here with the boys from Queensland. Fantastic effort, guys. Now, the first thing I have to say is, have you done much 4x4 baton passing changes in practice?
No. This is my first time. First 4x4, yeah.
Well, it was one of the most entertaining things, because you're usually meant to grab the baton facing inwards, and you started outwards and then went inwards, and it was funny because then you made the New South Wales team change as well. So it was entertaining to watch, but great race.
I'm a trendsetter.
We might take off. We might see the international do it, because there was no problem in it. Did you guys expect to win? Because the New South Wales team looked pretty tough on paper.
Yeah, we didn't really know any of the teams going in. We sort of had a solid team going in ourselves. So, yeah, we sort of knew we'd be around the mark somewhere.
And were you disappointed that Alex Beck decided he wasn't tough enough to compete? The boys have been giving it to him up there.
It would be great to have Alex, but he's obviously had a big few days, and, yeah, he said he's getting a bit old. Yeah, so, no, it would have been great to have him, but everyone stepped up, so it's all good.
And it's a new concept. Used to be back in the old days that they had the open 4x4s and the 4x1s on the program. What do you think? Do you love having them back? Maybe not so a good person to ask right now, but...
Not really. It's a bit tough to back up on the last day. I wasn't loving it too much, running it, but it's all right now, yeah.
But you get a gold medal, so that's pretty special.
Yeah, exactly. Makes up for crap performances before.
Well done, guys. Queensland takes the final event on the program. Go celebrate.
Congratulations to Queensland, but we've got to wonder, is Alex Beck, is he a bit unsure in his decision now? Is he regretting not being down there with the Queensland team?
He did cop a little bit from down there. They said you're too old.
Oh! Well,
that came from Murray Goodwin as well. I think he was my age. That microphone's turned off, Alex. Sorry. We can't have a chat. There's the official results there. Queensland finishing the championships with the gold medal. This is obviously the tally of all the championships. It comes down to the 4x4. Queensland, the ultimate champions of the national championships.
Just putting it out there, Queensland, does that count as an Australian team? Like, how does that work?
There's no international team. That's the only unfortunate bit.
There you go.
So to qualify a relay for an international meet, you do need one international team at least.
Yep.
Now, it's been another big day. We've had sunshine, rain, wind, rain again, sunshine. We had an umbrella up here to block our thing. It's so sunny up here. Now, Tamsin, we had some massive highlights on a Saturday night. What got you excited about our Sunday evening session?
Well, I tell you, I enjoy watching Danny Stevens in the discus throw. I think she's looking like she's in great shape. And same with Hamish Peacock. I'm looking forward to seeing them go to the World Champs, because I think they're definite medal chances, which is always exciting to talk about. But the middle distance races were fantastic. Obviously, Ryan Gregson, very strong, showed us how good he is with his class and his kick at the back end. And the women's 800 was super slow, tactical, but Laura Story took the victory.
Yeah, some great running out there. Ben, what about some highlights for yourself?
Yeah, for me, it's great to see Sally Pearson back, isn't it? I said before at the start that the hurdles I was looking forward to, Sally Pearson comes back, gets the qualifier in the heat, runs a quick time in the final. Unfortunately, it was windy, but she locks herself a position on that team for World Champs. The other one, still with the men's, Nick Huff. Unfortunately, again, windy. The conditions weren't great. For some reason, the heavens opened up. It rained.
It's the Huff rain.
It's the Huff rain. Just at point in his hurdles race, but still, again, a quick time. So he now knows that he's capable of achieving that qualifying time. So I reckon if he goes off and gets a couple of more races, gets some good conditions, I reckon he'll be good.
Now, we've had an excellent 8 days here at the Australian Athletics Championship. Some great talent on show. Great to see the juniors all the way from the under-14s competing against the Opens. Good to see some of those Opens athletes preparing for the World Championships. And it'll be exciting come in 2018, a home Commonwealth Games. Tickets actually go on sale for that home Commonwealth Games on the 4th of April. I know now that I'm based in Queensland, I will be getting on that ticket. And it's great to see the home Commonwealth Games. And I was there in 2006. It was excellent. But we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much to Tamsin. Thank you very much to Ben Offerins. I'm Matt Lynch. It's been a great time. We'll probably see you guys next year. Thank you for watching.
Saw a father bashing his own son.
And all the parents were arguing with each other.
It was really stressful and it made me just not feel good at all.
I stopped because I was being yelled at and it just wasn't any fun anymore.
If they've got to yell out, they could say like something encouraging, like good job or good pass.
You're doing great. You're good, just keep trying and you'll get there.
Just let kids be kids.